U.S. Bank countdown to kickoff.
Hello from Notre Dame Stadium. For 90 years, a place that has been the scene of so many unique moments in college football history. And today, another one. For the first time, the house that Rockne built hosts college football amidst a pandemic. Protocols are in place. Stands are not as full as normal. Yet still, some much-needed familiarity can be found. Brian Kelly starts an 11th year with a top 10 team, and Ian Book is back for a third season quarterbacking the Irish. Duke is in town, not just a basketball school anymore under David Cutcliffe. He's a famed mentor of quarterbacks and now coaches the recent backup to college football's best QB. A day that is different in so many ways, takes part framed by familiar. For the 30th year, welcome to Notre Dame football on NBC. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Tirico. It's Irish season 132, and we're about to see something we've never seen before. Notre Dame in a conference game. Member of the ACC for most of their sports. The league inviting the Irish to play football. A 10-game schedule means the Irish can win a conference title and a national title. But that would likely mean handling #1 Clemson. They come in here in November if the schedule stays in place. Today, they try to beat Clemson's old backup quarterback and continue an 18-game home winning streak. A lot new about today, including our booth. Tony Dungy will join me up here to call the game. He'll be with us in a little bit. But also new, our host for Notre Dame football down on the sidelines. A guy very familiar with this school. Welcome back, Jack Collinsworth. It's a very different day here.
Mike, it is a very different day, but there is still an energy inside of this stadium, more so than I was even thinking. And also, keep in mind, it's about 15% capacity, so you're going to see about 15,000 people in the stands today. But at the exact same time, there is some noise being pumped. Every student who wanted to get a seat got one. They're all going to be masked up as we go through the course of this game. And when you think about testing, throughout the course of the summer, routinely, both of these teams have been tested. But then again, yesterday, they ran it back with the testing, and the word that we got was all good. Also, a data analytics professor, Scott Nessler, he designed the seating chart for Notre Dame Stadium today. The whole idea was to sit students by who they live with and then create distance beyond that. So, Mike, it took everyone, even a professor, to get Notre Dame football back on the field today.
It did, Jack, and the students are being disciplined. They're hanging where they're supposed to be. Tony Dungy joins me, then we'll kick it off. Notre Dame Duke from South Bend coming up next.
This has been the U.S. Bank countdown to kickoff.
Tournament to cancel. A very large crowd, social distance.
The death of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery,
in-person instruction on campus.
Hold up. Before we get started, let's get one thing straight. We've been busy this offseason, devising plans for an undefeated season. We had the game plan for a global pandemic. Building our brotherhood means something a little different. When half our brothers are seen as a threat first and a person second. But overcoming adversity is not a Notre Dame cliche. It defines who we are. We're not just built different on the field.
There's work to be done right here.
What you love about us on Saturdays,
Fight. What do you say, man?
we've got every other day of the week, too.
And I promise you, myself, this team, this university, we stand with you.
Football is not just our sport. It's our family. It's our voice. So make no mistake about it. We're taking this field right now as a message.
And now it's the home opener.
Adversity, it isn't going anywhere.
And here come the Irish.
But neither are we.
Didn't think you'd see it. Here it is. First time in 2020. Here come the Irish. Brian Kelly joins some of the legends as he begins season 11 as Notre Dame head coach. Ian Book becomes the first 3-year starter quarterback since Jimmy Clausen, the senior from California, is 20-3 as he gets set to lead his team. And in the meantime, coming out of the tunnel over in the northwest corner of the stadium momentarily will be the Duke Blue Devils, who are going to make their 5th visit to South Bend. They take the walk down the steps from the visitors' locker room. They came over socially distanced. It took 6 buses with only 26 players/staff per bus to make their short trip over after flying in yesterday. As they make their way to the field, down to Jack Collinsworth.
And Coach, you have coached Notre Dame for a decade, but today is different. How do you describe what it means to you and to Notre Dame to be out here today?
Well, I'm just so proud of our team and our support staff that we've been able to make it to the starting line. You know, again, just honored to be the head football coach at Notre Dame, given these times, the commitment that our players had to make to get here. I'm just excited to watch them play, Jack.
It's a veteran offensive line, fifth-year quarterback behind them. What are you most looking forward to seeing out here today?
Well, you know, I think we just need to do the ordinary things extraordinarily well. And I think if we do that in an opener, we're going to be in pretty good shape. As you mentioned, we've got 5 guys on the offensive line that have played a lot of football together. Ian Book is an experienced player. You know, rely on that. You know, we don't need to be anything else other than who we have been over the last 3 years. And Duke's a really good football team, well coached. But, you know, I like us if we just be who we are.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck. Mike, back to you.
Thanks, Jack.
All right. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Brian Kelly. Welcome on up into the booth. Not a lot of folks in between the field and us as we normally have, but we have the Super Bowl winning head coach of the Pro Football Hall of Famer, Tony Dungy, with us on the games this year. Not your first trip to South Bend, though.
No, it's not, Mike. As a 17-year-old high school senior, I came on a recruiting visit. I went to Coach Parsegan's office, and I was blown away. And I have to tell you, coming back today, walking the campus with you, I felt the same energy and electricity. It's an awesome environment.
We just heard from Brian Kelly. David Cutcliffe, a terrific coach in his own right, coaches Duke. Those guys have been doing this combined for over a half-century as head coaches, and they told us this week, Tony, this is like nothing they've ever prepared for in their careers.
I can't even imagine it. All the things you have to process as a football coach, and Coach Kelly's talking about just making it to the starting line. It was 9 o'clock this morning when he found out that all his guys could play. I can't imagine that as a coach, but we're ready to go.
Same deal for Duke. Now, Tony, you studied this Notre Dame team in the offseason. They come off 3 straight 10 or more win seasons. What do you see when you look at them?
Well, they're really impressive. You heard Coach Kelly talk about that offensive line and his veteran quarterback, but I love the defense, and I think it's because it reminded me of my defenses in Tampa. They don't do a lot. They line up, but they're physical. They swarm to the ball, and they create turnovers. I think this is one of the best college football teams in the country.
But we know who the best team in the country is in this conference. It's Clemson. Clemson comes in here in November. Trevor Lawrence is their terrific quarterback. His backup the last couple of years, Chase Bryce, is the quarterback for Duke. What do you see when you look at him?
Well, Coach David Cutcliffe knows a lot about quarterbacks, and he loves Chase Bryce. He says he's accurate, he can move in the pocket, but more than anything, he gives them a chance to take shots and make plays down the field, which they're going to need to do if they're going to beat Notre Dame.
Not everybody is usually here, but I got to tell you, it's pretty emotional. It's pretty cool. We're going to play football. Let's go. He took 2 back against Wake last year. That's Jonathan Gore, and this is college football 2020. So glad to get it underway. From 2 deep, here comes the speedster, Philyaw Johnson. Hit hard as he crossed the 15-yard line in the first hit of the season. Made by the Irish and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who you're going to hear a lot about. He could be the best player on the Notre Dame defense. Tony, special teams, big plays, big name
Brian
player.
Cullen, the special teams coach, was worried about this. First kickoff coverage, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah set the tone.
All right, there's Chase Bryce, who we talked about, backing up Trevor Lawrence. He saved the game against Syracuse when Lawrence was injured in 2018. He's played in 25 games, so he has a lot of experience. Opening drive will start from the 16-yard line, and Bryce will go to the air right away. And this is one of the best parts of this Duke offense. Their tight end, Noah Gray, takes it across the 35 to the 37-yard line. It's a first down and a gain of 21.
Coach Cutcliffe talked about Noah Gray, and he said he reminds him of Dallas Clark. He can do a lot out in the open spaces, get the ball to him, and let him run.
Gray caught 51 balls last year. Senior from Massachusetts. Officially marked at the 38. And a turn and a hand for the first run of the game for Deion Jackson with the captains for the Blue Devils. He'll get 3 yards. They'll mark him forward progress at the 41. 41-yard line. So Tony, for Bryce, he's come in. He's trying to make himself a leader on this Duke team right from the start, even though he hasn't been with these guys and had no offseason.
And he's worked hard to do that, Mike.
To Jackson again. Good run across the 45 through 2 through 3 tackles. Jackson into Irish territory before the safety Kyle Hamilton brings him down at the 47-yard line. First down for Duke.
And this is really what they want to do. Little trap blocking inside. Good, powerful running by Deion Jackson. If they can get that run game going, that is really going to help.
Jacob Monk, a sophomore from Clayton, North Carolina. Good lead block. And from the 47, this time the fake, and Bryce to the air and over the top, incomplete. Hamilton and Sean Crawford in coverage for Notre Dame as Eli Panko was the intended receiver.
Play action, take the shots. This is what Coach Cutcliffe talked about. He's got to get big plays to win this ball game, and they're going to be aggressive.
14 in the secondary. 6 when he's on the field for Notre Dame playing a rover. Kyle Hamilton, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, 2 difference-making players who have to be very good if the Irish are going to be very good this season. On the draw, Jackson bouncing left. Hamilton makes the tackle as he's spilled at the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 5. We'll have 3rd and 5 coming up. Jake Marweedy is the tight end who's in for Duke as they have a couple of tight ends in the game. And they'll run out of that spread, and Jackson will not get there. Hamilton was over there for the Irish, along with Justin Ademiola, and it will bring up 4th down at 39. Let's see what they do here, Tony. 4th and about 3.
And this is Kyle Hamilton right here. Again, not playing in center field, but near the line of scrimmage. And look at this, just instinctive, finding the ball, making that hit, bringing up 4th down.
And they're going to go for it, and they'll go empty here, as Bryce will spread him out. And he'll throw. And it's incomplete. And it is Hamilton in coverage. So 3 times on that drive. Hamilton, the key defender, breaks up that attempted completion. And the Irish defense come up with a 4th down stop to get started. Notre Dame takes over for the first time this year with good field position after the Hamilton pass breakup. Football is brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. Be a sub above. That's the scene last year on a sun-drenched Saturday for the opener in South Bend. That's the same picture in a different time. And you see the students, like I said, credit their discipline. I don't know if I would have been doing that at 18. Give me a free pass to go hang out with my friends, but they are sitting with the groups that they came with in their assigned seats as they go through. And it's an overcast day. There are showers in the forecast for a bit later on. She lives in a single. And there is a chance of thunderstorms a bit later on in the second half. The Irish start their first drive of the year at the 39. It's the first carry of the day and the season for Kyron Williams, who won the running back job out of camp. He gains a yard. Sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, taking the handoff from Ian Book. What jumps out about Book when you watch this senior, Tony?
Well, I love him. First of all, he takes care of the football, Mike. He makes accurate throws, but he can move, and he stresses the defense with his legs. I really like his game.
And to your point, 23 starts, 17 interceptions. He really does a good job of keeping it with the Irish. Tommy Tremble, the tight end, a lot expected from him. He was the motion man. Book took off and got hit and knocked down right near the line of scrimmage. So Duke with good coverage. Book takes that first hit. It'll be a sack and a loss of a yard.
And this is the Duke formula today, to have someone spying and getting after Ian Book if he does break the pocket.
Rocky Shelton from Fort Lauderdale, one of the starting linebackers for Duke. Blue Devils are good in the secondary, have a couple of very good players up front. 3rd and 11 for the Irish. And Book checks it down to Williams. He was about to get hit. He got rid of it. Not an accurate throw. And Notre Dame opens 3 and out here to start the season.
Great start by the Duke defense. They couldn't ask for a better opening drive. They wanted to stop the run early. That's all they talked to us about early on, was stopping the run and stop Ian Book from running on second down.
We saw some of that good pressure I mentioned. Chris Rumpf brought the heat there. Josh Blackwell is back. Jay Bramlett, sophomore, after a good season last year, is in to punt. He gets rid of it. And it'll be a perfect kick. 52 yards with no return, down at the 10-yard line by Michael Vincent, the walk-on who won the long snapping job for the Irish here. First snap as the starter, and he gets to cover the punt, and Duke will have 90 yards to come down the field. So let's introduce you to the Blue Devils. You saw enough in that opening drive of Deion Jackson or the rest of the receivers, and Noah Gray caught that first ball of the game for 22 yards. Here's the group up front. Will Taylor's an interesting story. Duke lost their captain, Jack Wolbaugh, to a preseason injury. So in steps Will Taylor, his high school teammate, the quarterback, Chase Bryce. So he's snapping to a guy that he played with back in high school in Georgia. Second drive starts from the 10, and Bryce has space. He throws on the running complete. Bryce was pressured. Thought he might have kept that, Tony. Run for a little bit.
Yes, they're getting him out of the pocket, moving him around a little bit, which Notre Dame expected. I think this is just trying to make a play. He's got a chance to run. Take your short gain there. Tried to force it in. Incomplete.
You know, if Kyle Hamilton was chasing me, I might have thrown it too.
Well, get your 5 yards and get out of bounds.
Deion Jackson motions to the backfield. Here he goes to the left. Nice run by Jackson. I like the way he runs. To the 20-yard line, first down. He was third-team All-ACC in the preseason with good reason. He ran for 641 yards last year.
He can run inside, Mike, and they also want to get the ball to him in the passing game today.
Duke coming off a 5-7 season. The offense really shut down at the end of the year last year. And David Cutcliffe has taken over the play calling duties one more time. The 21, flush is Bryce, able to maintain his poise and throw complete. That's a terrific play. And a gain of 11 for the first down to Jake Bobo, the junior from Belmont, Massachusetts.
And that is what Coach Cutcliffe talked to us about with Bryce. He said he can move in the pocket. Here's Jake Bobo just staying alive. Bryce is moving around, puts the ball in a catchable position, throwing on the run. Great play.
Nick McLeod made that tackle. He played at NC State, grad transfer for the Irish, trying a tunnel screen to the outside, spinning and caught by Jalen Calhoun. And he takes it to the 37-yard line, the sophomore from Greenville, South Carolina. Now let's introduce you to his Irish defense. Dalen Hayes is back for her 5th year. He's the captain leading that pass rush up front. As I mentioned, everybody on the defense raving about Jeremiah Owusu, Oromoa, most explosive third-aim defender. Sean Crawford for his 6th year. Kyle Hamilton his 2nd year. They man the safety spots. This is Mateo Durant, the 2nd string back, giving Jackson a rest. And he cannot get anything as the Irish had him strung out, and will bring up 3rd down.
And that's that swarming defense that I love to see, getting a lot of people to the football.
Shane Simon led the tackling group. David Cutcliffe on the sideline under the neck gaiter with a beard that he started growing during everyone's quarantine period when the country was shut down. 3rd and 5. See, Hamilton rotates deep. He's the single safety in the back. The slant underneath is caught by Eli Panko. First down and more. Panko breaks free inside the 30. Panko in a foot race. Took a great angle. And Eli Panko all the way to the 7-yard line. It's a pitch, catch, and run of 56 yards.
And this is straight man coverage with a single safety and just a little pick underneath the rub route. And Panko does the rest after the catch, but it was designed by David Cutcliffe for that man coverage.
Young man from Indiana, from Pendleton, 140 miles from here. 1st and goal for Duke. That one is strung out. And nowhere to go is Kurt Heinich, the senior, off that nose tackle position. Comes to get Deion Jackson for a big 1st down loss.
Great penetration. Great penetration there.
Heinich, Myron Tungavailoa Amosa manning that inside. Isaiah Foskey, 7 you saw. He's to the quarterback's left, rushing from that defensive end with Hayes for the Irish. New names, second and goal. Tried to draw, almost missed the connection, and the handoff to Jackson. They're lucky that wasn't a fumble, Tony. They end up getting 2.
Timing wasn't quite right on this. Trying to show pass first, get those linebackers to drop out. Does get it to Jackson. Notre Dame squeezes it.
Handoff on the hip is not the best option, right?
Not in the red zone. You don't want that.
Duke will spread it, go empty with 5 wide on 3rd and goal. They bring 6. Bryce is hit as he throws. It's incomplete. I mentioned Isaiah Foskey when he came in on this drive, and the sophomore from Antioch, California, 6'5", 237. I get the feeling we're going to see a lot of him this year.
Yes. And what happens, they blitz and drop out. They drop the defensive lineman out to take the hot, got Foskey free. Great job of setting that up by the Notre Dame defense.
They graduated a good kicker and bring in one that they think is a lot of promise. Charlie Ham is a strong leg. First collegiate field goal attempt from 29 yards. And a Jackson Hubbard's hold. Charlie Ham can forever say his first field goal in college football was in Notre Dame Stadium. Duke is on the board first. Just past halfway through the first. Discover the drama the Wall Street Journal calls the best medical show on American television. An all-new Transplant Tuesday on NBC. Let's see all the familiar sights around the Notre Dame campus. The Word of Life mural fronting the Hesburgh Library. There is Chris Tyree. 3 different people use the word electric.
Yes, I can't wait. I hope this ball gets kicked to him. I can't wait to see him.
What the highly touted freshman running back out of Chester, Virginia has. He's back deep to receive the Charlie Ham kickoff. Ham does have that big leg. See if he has a return chance. He will. Here's Tyree's Irish debut from the goal line. Across the 20. That is explosive speed and quickness as Tyree takes it out near the 38-yard line. They weren't lying.
Just as advertised. I like the way he hit that.
So that'll set up the Irish in a good field position. Let's check that Notre Dame offense. We mentioned, of course, the quarterback, 3-year starter in Ian Book, Kyron Williams, Tommy Tremble. Some new names are going to be surrounding Book this year in terms of touching the ball, but not blocking. Robert Hainsey is a second-year captain. He has 22 of the 107 starts for this group. They're all starters. They're all back. And they all have the potential to be good as a unit. They didn't show it on the first drive, to be honest. And here, just a gain of about 2 yards on the first down carry for Williams.
And this is what I wanted to see, Mike. I wanted to see how they would come out and how Duke can deal with that straight-ahead run from Notre Dame. This is something Duke was worried about.
Gain of 2. Williams the back again. 2nd and 8. He'll take it on the read and go forward to the 44-yard line. It feels like we're seeing a little bit of a tone being set. Can they do it successfully against this 4-2-5? Chris Rumpf had good pressure on 3rd down last time. He's an X-factor, one of the top edge rushers in the country. Inexperience here, Shaka Howard, a sack against the Irish last year. Experience in the secondary. Mark Gilbert's a great story. One of the better cornerbacks in the league in 2017. Hasn't played the last 2 years with a hip injury. So happy to see him back on the field. 3rd down, Book pulled it down, then throws. It's juggled and could not be brought in by Tommy Tremble, who had room to run. He was open, but Notre Dame opens the season with back-to-back 3-and-outs.
Duke brought the pressure this time. They picked it up and just a little bit off target. You can see rushing straight ahead inside, trying to get Ian Book to get rid of the ball quickly. He did a great job of sidestepping that. Just missed on the
False start. Offense. Number 13. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So the Irish will be penalized 5. Jeff Hader, you see the officials wearing their neck gaiters as well to cover their nose and mouth with COVID protocol. The flag on Notre Dame's Lawrence Keys. So Jay Bramlett will punt it back from the 38-yard line. Out of hang time, 47 on the kick, and a perfectly timed hit for the Irish. Terrific play by Isaiah Pryor, the backup safety, Tony, that's as you draw it up.
Well done. Shoulder pad right on the football.
Pryor with the big hit. Good job to hold on by Josh Blackwell. Long field for Duke. David Cutcliffe turned 66 on Wednesday. We got to know him because of all the success he had tutoring Peyton Manning at Tennessee as an assistant, then Eli Manning as the head coach at Ole Miss. Then he came to Duke, and Duke football was terrible. Look at what he's done. Look at what he has done at Duke, and he is here now for season 13. Bowl games, success. I know last year wasn't as good, but I don't think this team will be down that long. It looks like they've got a good start to this season and a good group as this first down run by Mateo Durant gains a couple. Tony, you were on part of the David Cutcliffe bandwagon as he tutored Peyton Manning at Tennessee, and then you got him in Indianapolis.
Yes, and Peyton still, to this day, I think still does drills that David Cutcliffe gave him as a college freshman. Great quarterback coach.
2nd and 8 after the gain of 2. And Chase Bryce, the new quarterback, he is mentoring. A nice pass there to the sideline and completed for the first down to Darryl Harding in front of Nick McLeod. First down, Duke.
And this is going to be part of the game plan. When we see bump and run coverage, there's going to be a lot. The back shoulder throw, well placed by Chase Bryce.
Irish spring pressure. Bryce got rid of it. No adjustment on the side with the quarterback and the receiver, Dennis Smith, and it was incomplete. So David Cutcliffe, they use the term quarterback whisperer. That may not be the appropriate term after quarterback.
No, more of a quarterback growler. And in fact, Chase Bryce told us that. He said, when I was being recruited, he was like my grandfather. But I got there and I found out he's not grandpa.
No, not at all. He's going to get after you like a dad. But especially with the quarterbacks, too. Demanding of them. Designed run. Draw Bryce. He'll be stopped to the 34. See a flag come in there from the umpire. We'll see if we have a hold on this one. You'd expect missed tackles and a lot of penalties, but so far so
Holding.
good.
Offense number 21. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's on the running back, Mateo Durant. Tony, when you got Peyton Manning after his Tennessee time where Cutcliffe was the offensive coordinator, you said that Peyton told you early on, hey, I want to be Coach Hart.
I need to be coached. I need to know when I make a mistake. I need to, Coach Cutcliffe stayed on me. I need you to stay on me. That's how he coaches his quarterback. Some people don't do that, but David Cutcliffe does.
And Chase Bryce loved it. And he has embraced it. It's one of the reasons he came in from Clemson. He gets hit here, ball up for grabs, and it is broken up. Well, Bauer almost had the interception for Notre Dame. Isaiah Foskey brought the pressure for the 2nd time in as many drives.
This is the 2nd good pressure we've seen from Isaiah Foskey. Coming off the right side. Just a nice movement with his hands, getting his hands in there to slip that block and spin and create a near turnover.
Yeah, good thing Darryl Harding Jr., the Duke receiver, 6'4". He got up and got in the way. 3rd and 17. Bryce is going to get to the edge and just run it, minimize the damage, and let's live to kick it. 4th down.
Broken play there. Receivers were running to the right, and Bryce goes out to the left. Not sure what happened there. And Coach Cutcliffe talked to us about that. We can't have the self-inflicted wounds, the mistakes. Got to be sharp.
Another new kicker they're breaking in for Duke as Lawrence Keys is back to take the Porter Wilson punt. 6'5", redshirt freshman, can hit it a mile, but also inexperienced. So we'll watch Wilson's debut. Got that one away, and that is a mile. That is 60 yards. Welcome to the league. Keys made a man miss, tried to squirt free, got to the 19. It's so odd not to see Chris Fink back catching punts for the Irish. He did so well for 3 years. New punt return man, Lawrence Keys, caught the long one off the leg of Wilson.
Toast to the return of Notre Dame football by raising a pint of Guinness. Now a proud partner and official beer of Fighting Irish alumni and fans. Please drink responsibly.
Irish open opener was supposed to be in Ireland against Navy. Obviously, everything has changed. No Navy, no USC, no Stanford on the schedule. Here is Tyree, the freshman, in the game, trying to run to the edge, but there were all white shirts there. Nowhere to go, and Notre Dame's run game cannot get going here in the early going. Chris Rumpf among those over there for Duke's defense, which has looked good so far.
Mike, I am really impressed with this Duke defense. They told us all week, we've got to stop the run, we've got to stop the run, and they have done it so far. They're swarming to the football.
Rumpf's the X factor. He plays in all their packages. He'll stand up, he'll have his hand on the ground. There he is trying to run over a guard. There's the pressure on the edge, and Book is brought down by Rocky Shelton as they outnumber the Irish to the quarterback's left.
Rocky Shelton, the outside linebacker, he doesn't blitz that much, but he's going to come off the corner. No one sees it. Ian Book doesn't see it.
And Tony, 25, the freshman Tyree, the running back, he's looking over there to the right, and the linebacker came from the other side.
I hope that's not a mistake on his part, but with Ian Book not looking there, that could be exactly what happened.
So 3rd and 20. Book backed up, will throw. Tremble hangs on to this one. He's going to be stopped shy of the 20-yard line. You look at all those white shirts. It's a swarming 7-man defensive effort for Duke to stop Tremble, and the Irish for the 3rd drive will go 3 and out, and it's been a slow start for Notre Dame. 9 plays, a total of 4 yards.
And I really did not expect this, Mike. They talked about, Notre Dame talked about running the football. Tommy Rees said we've got to use our offensive line. They have not been able to dominate the line of scrimmage yet.
See if they put pressure on Jay Bramlett this time. They do not. His 3rd punt of the game to Josh Blackwell. Another nice one, 52 yards. Blackwell from the 29. Turned it 6 to the 35. And he's brought down there. Buck 42 to go. Fast moving first quarter. Blue Devils 3-0. Our aerial coverage is brought to you by Geico. Mike Tirico, Tony Dungy, Jack Collinsworth with you here at Notre Dame Stadium. Forward having our colleague Catherine Tappan back with us. Catherine handling all the hockey duties every night as the conference finals are rolling on. 4th drive for Duke. Bryce to Noah Gray, his favorite target. Only a yard. Sean Crawford and Drew White make the tackle. Sean Crawford, 6th year, 3 season-ending injuries. Injured his elbow last year, but comes back 4 years 6. Now a captain and moves from corner or nickel to a starting safety spot.
And they told us he has picked it up and looks natural back there, Mike.
He has had such a tough injury run during his Notre Dame career. That pass is broken up by Nick McLeod, and they've been throwing at a couple of times here in this first quarter. Pass intended for Jake Bobo.
Nick McLeod on the corner, coming from North Carolina State. This is what he does really well. He has the confidence to play bump and run. He has the confidence to look back for the football. Excellent coverage there.
Yeah, Duke knows him right there in the triangle.
They've seen him.
17 starts the last 2 years with the Wolfpack. Earned his degree, grad transfer. Now here with the Irish. Notre Dame showing heat. Bringing pressure. 3rd and 8. Bryce gets rid of it. It's complete to Calhoun. Calhoun's going to be a yard short of that first down. They're going to mark him at the 44-yard line. It'll be a long yard. Calhoun limping across the field, the sophomore, as he got hit on the ankle on the way out. And Duke will kick it away.
Notre Dame brought the pressure again, trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick.
So it's the 2nd punt, 60 yards. The first one for Porter Wilson. He needs 56 here. 60 would be no good, but able to put it up high. Good job. Coach Key's going to let it hit, and he's going to get most of that yardage too. Well, Porter Wilson, as the Duke folks told us, they like their new kickers. Perfect there. The Irish will take over at their own 4. What a year it's been, what a off-season it's been for all of college football. Notre Dame had just a couple of practices to start their spring football, and then everything shut down with COVID-19. Made it tough for the offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees. Of course, Tommy, the former Notre Dame quarterback, was the quarterback's coach and now takes over as the offensive coordinator for the Irish. Really had a on-air, if you will, in-game job interview. It happened in the bowl game against Iowa State. The offense was very impressive. He replaces Chip Long, who's now an assistant at Tennessee. Running it out of their own end zone, just a couple of yards on first down for Williams, and Notre Dame not able to get going on the offensive end in this first quarter. The Irish ran 10 plays in the opening frame, just 7 yards to get 151 yards, and they had the only points. Blue Devils 3, Irish nothing after 1. And we will return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. So good to be back. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Overcast here at Notre Dame Stadium. Season opener for the Irish and the Duke Blue Devils. First ever conference game in Notre Dame history. Invited to be in the ACC for a 10-game schedule this year. Of course, most of the other Irish sports play in the Atlantic Coast Conference. 3-0 Duke as we start the second. Mike Tirico, Tony Dungy, Jack Collinsworth on the sideline. The Irish held in check offensively in the opening quarter. 2nd and 8. They'll try to continue to establish the run, and Kyron Williams only gets a couple. Lumi Young and Derek Tangelo come up with a stop. Tony, Notre Dame trying to establish a run. They're trying to find who's going to be their playmakers on the outside. They've lost their best 3 pass catchers.
Yes, and Duke defensive coordinator Matt Guerrieri read this chart too, and he understands that because he told us he was going to do everything to stop the run, make Notre Dame throw the ball outside and see if they could replace these 3 guys.
Ben Skoranek is one of those receivers. Tommy Tremble, the tight end who you just saw, is one of the focal points. Pressure picked up. Book throws. It's complete to Tremble for the first down right around the 19-yard line. Boy, Williams took a shot as he was trying to stay in there for the pressure. Well, the Irish get their first down.
And Coach Kelly told us this is a guy, Tommy Tremble, who they have confidence in the key situations. He's going to go to him. And not only catching the ball here, but making the move to get that first down.
First down and Book waiting, nothing open, try to check it down for Williams, and it's incomplete. Let's go down to Jack while we have a second.
Yeah, I asked Ian Book about losing his star wide receiver to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He said throwing up 50-50 balls to Claypool never felt like 50-50. It felt like 90-10. And yesterday I asked offensive coordinator Tommy Rees if they had anybody they could throw the ball up to at that clip this year. And Rees said freshman tight end Michael Mayer has won the most 50-50 situations, but 90-10 players don't come around often.
Not much at all. Claypool with the Steelers now. I bet you Ben Roethlisberger is going to feel the same way Ian Book has, right? Gain of 2 there for Kyron Williams. It'll be 3rd and long again, Tony.
Yeah, and on that incomplete pass, we've got a bunch situation here, but you're going to see a receiver come wide open, uncovered. And Ian Book would like to have that throw back.
Lawrence Keys broke out of the bunch and broke free. 3rd and 8. Book protected. He fires. It's over Ben Skoranek's head. Skoranek is the graduate transfer from Northwestern who grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, has 110 career catches. And many folks thought he would be one of the key receiving options. He could not connect with Book there. As you see, Skoranek has more receptions during his Northwestern days than all the returning Notre Dame players combined. And we saw a little bit of that in that series. Conversation with Dale Alexander, the Notre Dame wide receiver coach, on the sideline. Bramlett's going to run here. Can he get to the 28-yard line? He can. Former high school quarterback to the 35. So Jay Bramlett gives the Irish a little bit of a spark, and they pick up a first down. Wow, dice roll there with the fake punt from inside their own 30-yard line.
And Duke is trying to set up a return. They're going to drop out here. Great job leading. And this is a good run by the punter.
Yes.
That was an athletic run.
Because he doesn't make it if he doesn't make this cutback here, Tony. Duke had that strung out. Like I said, Bramlett back in his Alabama days was a high school quarterback, so showing some of those skills. Book's got it back, and that's Michael Mayer, who Jack Collinsworth just told you about. across midfield for a gain of 16 and a first down. The number 2 tight end, according to many recruiting services, player of the year out of the state of Kentucky, true freshman.
And they are really high on this freshman. He's a big body and a big target. He wears number 87. They call him Baby Gronk for a reason.
6'4" and 250. Nothing baby about that. Now an edge run set up, and Williams with the flag coming in gets to the 37-yard line. I don't know if it was a hold or a face mask. Looked like somebody got something up by the face of the running back.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty at the end of the play. First down. You got one.
So 3 chunks in a row there for the Irish. Didn't see anything there.
Yeah, that on the runner. Maybe it was on someone who was blocking.
Let's see. Nate Thompson, 29, was coming by. There was nothing there. Let's see if this was the face mask. Okay, that's what they got over there. Great job by our crew to find that on the side. Mark Gilbert, that's the player we told you was returning from that hip injury. He was blocking against Ben Skoranek, and that will take the Irish down to the 22-yard line. Let's go Irish from the student, faculty, and staff crowd assembled here, and parents as well. There's Williams to the right. Good penetration, and he only gets back to the line of scrimmage, not much more. Derek Tangelo did a terrific job with the penetration that allowed Dorian Mosi to make the tackle.
Good job, Derek Tangelo, kind of making it bounce outside. But once again, Duke is saying, we're going to take away this run game and make you throw the ball to beat us.
Williams helmet off. He's out. Jafar Armstrong in. Fake to him. Setting up the screen to Armstrong. Here goes the senior from Missouri. Looking to run inside the 10. Inside the 5. And Armstrong is out of bounds just inside the 2-yard line.
And all the movement, Mike. The fake reverse. Duke got lost in the shuffled man coverage, and no one is going to end up on Armstrong. Watch him.
We're taking advantage here, Tony. You know, Williams loses his helmet, has to come out for a play. Armstrong, who didn't win the starting job, although he is the most experienced coming back of those Notre Dame rushers, just out of bounds before he could reach to the pylon. So first and goal for the Irish. Williams is back in at running back. Tremble leads the way. Williams powering towards the goal line and is stopped just short.
Tommy Tremble moves back to fullback to become the lead blocker. They got some movement, good hard run. Looks like we've got someone down, Mike.
Derek Tangelo, the defensive tackle for Duke, over there where that play was made, is shaken up. And the athletic training staff for the Blue Devils out to look at Tangelo.
Defense, number 51. Penalty is down, passes to the goal line. First down.
Victor DiMichigi was called for the flag. The bigger concern is to Tangelo, and will step out. Tangelo helped off by the athletic training staff, walked off under his own power. Hope he's okay. So it's first to go after the offside penalty at the 1. Let's see if the left side of that Notre Dame offensive line, Liam Eichenberg and Aaron Banks, 2 pretty strong players for Notre Dame. See if they can lead the way. If they're going to power run, that's the place to go, right?
That's where to go, and that put it on them. We're going to run right behind you. They go right, though.
They'll try the right. Guys on the right, and Toomey Young missed the tackle, and Kyron Williams is in for the touchdown. Young had him absolutely stopped for a loss of yardage, and Williams was able to get out of that tackle and get Notre Dame's first touchdown of the year.
Lummy Young, he can't believe it. He's actually going to come through here and get great penetration. And he thinks he made the tackle. And it's a touchdown.
Wow.
This is a great run, Kyron Williams. And they raved about this guy. They said he's been awesome in camp, and he's proving it.
Lummy Young was just in disbelief on his knee that he didn't stop him. Jonathan Dorr had a very good season last year, his first year as a full-time Notre Dame kicker. Knocks one through to start his second. 4 and change gone by here in the second. And for the first time this season, Notre Dame in the lead. Kyron Williams with his first touchdown. 7-3 Notre Dame. We all know it's been a very odd year this offseason. So different. July 29th, the ACC allowed Notre Dame to come in for the conference for this 1 year. Classes started, moved up that start time to August 10th. And the Big Ten, the Pac-12, the next day postponed their season. Folks wondered what would happen to the ACC, the Pac-12, the Big 12. Well, Notre Dame started classes but had to suspend them as COVID had an outbreak on campus. But after a couple of weeks of suspending in-person classes, they resumed here September 2nd. The numbers have been much better. The Athletics of the Atlantic Coast Conference, Jack Swarbrick, one of the big voices in the ACC, and obviously here at Notre Dame, and getting athletics back on track as this is the first weekend of competition for the ACC. Touchback there. The Irish will watch Duke take over the 25. And Jack Collinsworth, once all this happened, then we had to figure out who was going to play whom and where.
Yeah, Jack Swarbrick, if you could hear me over the band providing some nice sound here. Notre Dame Athletic Director Jack Swarbrick said that there was a period of about 6 weeks where everybody in the country was calling and asking if Notre Dame wanted to play them, and he also confirmed they absolutely had a conversation about playing Alabama, but the risk of building your own schedule was that any conference could switch to an all-conference schedule at any time, and then you lose all those games too. So after thinking about it, the result is something we thought we'd never see before. Notre Dame football in the ACC.
One non-conference game. It'll be against South Florida here next Saturday. First down carry. And spinning and turning and running into Irish defenders is Deion Jackson, the captain. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah with the tackle. Yeah, it was weird to see the ACC logo get painted on the field. They had to put it in a different spot inside the numbers, but there it is after almost a century and a third of independence. The Irish in a conference for the first time. Rain starting to come down here in South Bend. 2nd and 8, and Chase Bryce with a deep toss, and it is broken up. Damon Philyaw-Johnson went up for it, but Tariq Bracy in man coverage was able to keep it away from Philyaw-Johnson.
Well done by Bracy. And again, they're stacking the line of scrimmage. They're playing bump coverage, forcing that ball to go deep, and Bracy was up to the challenge there.
Bracy started 2 games last year. He and Nick McLeod man a corner position that has received a lot of attention in the offseason for Notre Dame. 3rd and 8.
Changing the protection, trying to pick up the rush off his right side.
Irish bring the heat. Free rusher hits Bryce, and his pass is high and incomplete. Boy, Bryce got lit up on that play. Bracy with the coverage once again downfield, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And it's Kyle Hamilton coming off the corner here. And a good hit on the quarterback. Bryce stayed in there, hung in there, but this was well designed, not only with the pressure, but converging on his hot receiver.
Porter Wilson kicking for the 3rd time. This one to the sideline and goes out of bounds, so not as good as the first 2 kicks. The Irish will get decent field position for the 3rd time in this game. They'll take over at their own 35-yard line. 37 on the kick. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue right here on NBC tonight. Vegas Golden Knights try to even it up against the Dallas Stars. Western Conference final from the bubble in Edmonton. Nothing like playoff hockey, 8 Eastern tonight on NBC. We'll have Islanders Lightning game 4 tomorrow afternoon. Well, it's been a lot of time in the dorm room for a lot of the students at Notre Dame, so it's just nice to be outside, even in the rain, listen to some music and enjoy a college football game on campus on a Saturday afternoon. Irish take over the 35 and book to Tremble, gains 12 to the 47-yard line, and a 1st down for Tommy Tremble.
And this is what you love about Ian Book, being able to be on the move and throw the ball on target. Tremble running the crossing route. There's not a lot of space there. That was right on the money. A lot of confidence to throw this ball.
Tremble had 16 catches last year. Cole Kmet got so much of the attention, drafted by the Chicago Bears. Williams, nice spin to elude a loss of a yard or two, and he ends up gaining 2 yards on that play. Tony, we can see, even though early on there wasn't space to run, why Kyron Williams won this job out of training camp this summer.
Yeah, we hadn't heard a lot about him before, but they said he has by far been our best back. He's got to carry the load for us, and he has made some plays and opened some eyes, I think.
Sophomore from St. Louis. In high school his senior year, he ran for 2,000 yards, had 40 total touchdowns. He'll take it to the left. Nice block there to give him a crease, but pulled down at the 46-yard line. And for the second time in 5 plays, his helmet comes off. Leonard Johnson, redshirt junior from Hayden, Alabama, took the helmet off, and Jafar Armstrong checks in. It's a different cast for Notre Dame. We start looking at the players who are being brought out there for Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator, calling his first regular season game. Trying to figure who's going to be that core group. Avery Davis, number 3, is part of that bunch at the top of the screen. 3rd and 4. Book retreating. Got out of harm's way, flipped it out to Jafar Armstrong, who will be stopped at the 46. So gets back to the line of scrimmage. And Book had to make something happen there. Tony almost had the ball like he was going to be a runner, and then he was not in position to throw the ball. Yeah,
and just a quick flip at the last minute, but this is what Notre Dame was concerned about. Tommy Rees making things, or excuse me, Ian Book making things happen with his legs. They want to make sure they have people around him and not let him beat them running the football.
And Chris Rumpf, who was chasing down, is pretty good. One of the top edge pass rushers returning. Look at the Pro Football Focus college numbers, and Rumpf is very high. And he graded out last year. Fair caught by Blackwell back at the 8-yard line. Good kick by Bramlett, who scrambled on a fake punt, helped the Irish get their opening touchdown.
Notre Dame defensive coordinator Clark Lee said there would be a lot of pressure on the secondary playing man coverage. Rodney McLeod, tight coverage, seeing the ball thrown. And then breaking on the football, new man Sean Crawford, new position at safety. More man coverage, bump and run. Tyreek Bracy, and then Tyreek Bracy again, coming off his man, making a play on the football. Great playing in the secondary.
It's been terrific the last couple of drives. Drew White with the tackle there as Clark Lee's linebackers come up with a stop after the gain of a yard. That's the position he coaches. Now year 4 in South Bend, year 3 after replacing Mike Elko as the defensive coordinator here for Notre Dame. Clark Lee's defenses have continued to put some of the top offenses that Notre Dame has played in check. Different plans, very good productivity from the group. Rice out of the pocket is past the sideline, completed. Jake Bobo is going to be marked right near the first down, close to the 18-yard line. Bobo involved for the second time here in the pass with Rice. This was one of those you got to figure out what Duke's offense is going to look like. You have the skill set of Rice, you have the offense Duke ran, and then you have the offense he ran at Clemson. So how much? And plus David Cutcliffe back to play calling. A little adjustment there, so a lot to figure out. They are going to give Bobo the first down here.
And this has Duke a little off kilter. They were thinking 3rd and 1, bringing their big people in. Now they realize it's a first down. I think they were surprised at that mark.
They were. Jeff Easter, the referee, pumped the play clock back up to give them time to get the right personnel out there for 1st and 10. Duke a first quarter field goal. Notre Dame a touchdown. And a drive that culminated in the second quarter with a Kyron Williams run. Rice hangs on to it, throws it complete. It's another first down, and a gain of 12 to Jalen Calhoun out to the 30-yard line. It's back-to-back first downs. Here's the last one as Bobo is trying to get to the 18. Ball's in his left hand. He was out as the
steps out of bounds. I think he was a little short. They gave him a good spot. Good spot for Duke.
I'm surprised that replay did not stop it to look at it. Get a first down on the next play. They're going to get another one here on a nice run by Deion Jackson. Out to the 40-yard line.
Mike, he hits the holes and slashes. just zone blocking. He can run anywhere. He sees the hole, and he goes north-south.
Will Taylor, Jacob Monk, the interior of that line, creating the space. Bryce in a good rhythm, throws in the middle, that's caught on the run. 25 yards on that one for Calhoun to the Irish 35, and they found a rhythm here, but it was a hard hit that Calhoun took, and he's shaken up on the play. He was going fast, was in an awkward spot. See, helmet comes off.
Get your helmet.
And this is a great job by Deion Jackson, the running back. It's supposed to be play action this way, but he sees the blitzer coming off, and so he aborts the play action and comes over here and makes the block, allowing this throw. Well done by a veteran back.
Gain of 26 was the back end on that hit. As Calhoun lowered his head into Nick McLeod's shoulder. Bryce on a boot, and the throw is very good over the linebacker in front of the defender to the 18-yard line. It's Eli Pankel, and Duke has found a terrific offensive rhythm on this drive.
Here's Pankel here running the corner route, and this is a beautiful throw over Owusu Kouamoa's head. When he threw the ball, I said, don't throw it, but great touch.
4 first down plays in a row. Duke's moved it into the red zone from the 18. Timing shot to the end zone. Incomplete for Damon Philyaw-Johnson. They want to see if Philyaw-Johnson can be as electric as a receiver as he has been as a kick returner. I mentioned he had the 2 kick returns for touchdown against Wake Forest, tied an ACC record in that regard, an NCAA record last year. Now can he be a pass catcher who's a big threat? The Devils looking to take the lead here, 2nd and 10. Rice with 5 options underneath, incomplete. That one intended for his normal big target, Noah Gray, and Jeremiah Owusu-Kouamoa spelled that one covered.
Mike, he is a great football player. They call him Woo, but I call him Wow because he does so much. And you see him break on this ball here. That is excellent technique. Got his left hand in there without interfering. He covers. He can blitz. He can tackle in the open field. This young man is a great football player.
There was a flag on that play. I don't know if it was on that play, or it didn't look like it was on that play, but it's first down at the 9. Did not hear Jeff Heaster's microphone opened for the call. There was no announcement.
I wonder if they called that pass interference. If they did, I'm not so happy with that call.
I didn't see the flag right in front of it. In any case, it is 1st and goal at the 9. Irish blitz throw underneath is caught to the 2-yard line. And Pankel is brought down by Kyle Hamilton. So busy half for Eli Pankel. His 3rd reception, 78 yards.
This is the same blitz Notre Dame brought earlier, bringing people and dropping linemen out, trying to get underneath that. But a great play by Bryce. He got the ball in through traffic under pressure.
3 tight ends and the running back Deion Jackson on 2nd and goal. 2 tight ends to the left. Jackson runs that way and he is stopped. Tripped up before he could get to the blocking. It'll be 3rd down. Ade Ogundeji in there for the Irish on the tackle.
I don't think they're going to be able to pound it in against this front, Mike. I think you're going to have to see some misdirection, some type of play action off this run fake here.
2 tight ends to the right. Gray lined up in the backfield. Same motion, same setup. This time it's the boot. Bryce in trouble, and he is brought down by Foskey. Is it incomplete or the sack or the fumble? It's ruled incomplete. Finally, we get a whistle. The referee, and they didn't open their mic before. Now he's just pointing and not blowing a whistle, so we're trying to figure out what's going on here.
First game for the officials, too, Mike. Isaiah Foskey, though, with another great play. He doesn't get fooled. He doesn't chase the run, stays upfield, comes after the quarterback.
Well, could it be grounding? That's the question. A conference going on with the officials here.
I think he's outside the pocket, but the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, though.
We've got Terry McCauley with us from our studio, and now the flag does come down, and here is the call. Okay, that's the problem. Jeff's all messed up with his mic. It is intentional grounding. So it's a loss down. It'll be 4th down. Bring in Terry McCauley
Thanks,
from our
Mike.
studio.
Yeah, the quarterback did get out of the pocket, but he threw the ball after he was contacted, so it's all on him. It didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Good call for intentional grounding.
Terry, thank you. It's good to have you with us here. Terry, 3 times in the Super Bowl, coordinator of Big East and American Conference officials as well for a decade. So not just his NFL great resume, but also a terrific college coordinating career. So able to clear it up for us. So it brings the loss of down, and it becomes 4th down.
And that was really well done by Foskey. He did not chase the run, stayed in position, great athleticism to come out and harass the quarterback.
A good point there, Tony, because we're paying attention to the enforcement of the infraction, and forget the Foskey pressure there is what made it
happen.
And it's not a guy who's played a ton of snaps, and his discipline showed there.
But I think he was thinking like I was. Boy, they're going to have a tough time pounding this ball in against our guys. Let me make sure I'm aware of the quarterback.
Don't believe anyone took a timeout. I don't know if we're just in replay here. Okay, replay is reviewing this. So the flag was thrown. The conversation is now gone to replay. Take one more peek, and we have Terry available to us back at the studio as well to update. Any thoughts?
Yeah, they may be looking to see if his knee's down first, but I would say that the next spot's going to be the exact same place. Because the penalty for intentional grounding is at the spot of the foul, and that's where they're going to put the ball with his knee down. So probably didn't need to stop the game. You generally don't stop the game for time unless it's really crucial late in the half. So I don't think this should have been stopped because it really doesn't affect anything.
Right.
Well, it does affect Isaiah. He wants his sack.
Terry, we got to deal with that. We've got the defensive guy looking for defensive stats with us now. So
I understand that. Here we go.
If I was the coach, that's what I'd be saying. No, that's a sack. You got to take care of our guys.
And here is the announcement now.
After further review, prior to the pass, the quarterback's knee was down at the 12-yard line. It will be 4th down. Please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 38 seconds. The clock will be on my signal.
Terry, Tony mentioned it. No camps, obviously, for the officials. I'm sure they're rusty as well.
Absolutely. This is their first game as well, and they didn't get to work any scrimmages prior to the season, so these are their first snaps, and same with replays, so there might be a little hiccup here and there.
Yeah, we pack patience for all of us for a very different way to get the season started. So the sack brings up a 30-yard field goal attempt for Charlie Ham. Good earlier from 29. The operation was good. The redshirt freshman knocks it through, and with 3:20 left, it is a low-scoring game and a 1.76 Notre Dame lead, as the Irish were heavily favored in this one. So, Tony, all the conversation about how everything was abnormal in terms of the preparation for these teams, what have you observed so far in the first half?
Well, I've been impressed with the coaching on both sides. Not a lot of sloppy play, not a lot of penalties, which is great to see. I'm a little surprised. Duke came in. They told us on defense, we've got to stop the run. This is a great offensive line, and they are doing that much better than I thought they would. Their quickness is giving Notre Dame's front a little bit of a problem, and they're going to make Notre Dame tell us if these replacement receivers, if the new guys can win one-on-one and win outside.
Yeah, Notre Dame dominated Duke, handled them easily and Durham when the offense was rolling last year. But it's a very different offense, and I think we saw that as you studied the Irish from last year in tape, and we're seeing it on the field in the first half.
Yeah, no, Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator, he wants to use his offensive line. He wants to use his tight ends blocking, and I know he wants to run the ball more effectively. They had one good counter run to Williams, but he wants to see this be a lot crisper. And I think some misdirection runs might be the thing.
Tyree will take this from 1 yard deep. Freshman trying to read the blocks. Duke covered this one well, and he is down at the 14-yard line. Long field coming up the Irish.
Yeah, speaking of misdirection, this is what went good for them. Counter, start one way, come back the other way. Duke is chasing everything. They're flying to the football, so the misdirection is going to be effective. And here we go. fake, reverse, roll one way, come out the other way, and crossing route. And then you've got the fake reverse, screen away. Again, they get lost chasing the ball.
Tunnel screen here is going to go a long way. It is caught by Kyron Williams. It's a foot race. Williams, the safety with an angle. Williams all the way to the 10-yard line. "75 yards.
They want to get the ball in Kyron Williams' hands in a lot of ways. This is an empty formation. Let the lineman rush and let Kyron Williams pick and use his vision. Well-designed play, well done, just gets chased down. They told us they want to use him as a receiver also.
Robert Hainsey out to throw. Great block from the 11. It is Book looking end zone, throwing, and it's intercepted. Lummy Young, the fourth, comes up with the interception.
Miscommunication with the freshman.
It'll be a touchback.
Oh, no. That's my mistake. I thought it was miscommunication with Mayer. He's throwing that to Trimble and off his hands, just a little high. That's just a bad throw.
Yeah, off the hands of Trimble, who was covered. And Lummy Young, the fourth, the redshirt junior from Anderson, South Carolina, who only has 3 starts and really made his name on special teams, comes up with a huge interception for the Blue Devils.
And we were talking to Ian Book about this yesterday, and he said, this is my job. I want to protect the football. I can't turn it over. This one was just a high throw, and I know he's not happy about that. He prides himself in not turning the football over.
Just intercepted 6 times last year in his 301 pass attempts. A little high. It was a little hot coming at the tight end Trimble. They couldn't pull it down, and the Blue Devils get it back. From the 20, it's Bryce. That's a gain of 13 for Jake Bobo. A big hit on the sideline. Let's go back to the pick.
And this is it's a corner route, but then it's Trimble on the cross, and he's got a high-low. And that was just a bad decision, too, throwing it in traffic and throwing it high.
The pass incomplete for Jake Marweedy, the redshirt junior tight end. David Hayes was around defensively for the Irish to mess up the timing. So 2:09 left. Duke gets the ball back here. And now 2nd and 10 at their own 35. Saw 6 up at the top of the screen. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out covering the slot, and that pass is incomplete. Sean Crawford with the defense on Jalen Calhoun. You see Owusu-Koramoah, Tony will see him in a lot of different places. He can rush the passer, but you can also put him out there to cover a slot receiver.
He's the reason why they don't have to play nickel defense. They can play base defense because he can do so many things. He can come in the box and play. He can cover wide receivers. He's a zone defender. He's just a dynamic all-around player. Here you see him near the line of scrimmage.
Pass rushing time. It is 3rd down and 10. 2:05 to go. And Bryce design run. Can he get there? Nope. Kyle Hamilton was waiting for him. It's a run of 6. I think Brian Kelly takes time out here. The Irish let it roll. 1:50 till halftime.
Yes, I think you have to have a timeout here. Don't let them burn 30 seconds of this clock.
Waited a few seconds with threat of going for it on 4th and 4. They don't. And they will kick it away with Porter Wilson, sending it back to Lawrence Keys. Wilson takes max time there. Keys on a 44-yard kick with the fair catch at the 16-yard line. Irish will get it there. 1:13, full boat of timeouts. Then the State Farm halftime report. We'll hear from Notre Dame's Sean Crawford about the overcoming the adversity he's faced during his 6 years and many injuries. Jack Collinsworth will visit with Notre Dame Athletic Director Jack Swarbrick. Plus a preview of Game 4 tonight on NBC with the Golden Knights and the Stars in the Western Conference Final, all coming up at the State Farm halftime report. And of note with Jack Swarbrick, as you see Sean Crawford there from Notre Dame. The press release announced after the first quarter that Brian Kelly has agreed to a contract extension. It happened back in the spring, but the announcement not coming until today. Book on first down, in trouble, on the run, and firing downfield as Skoranek may have pulled up a bit lame there. Ben Skoranek was the receiver who was behind the secondary. He is walking right over to get some medical attention, holding that hamstring.
Yeah, you see Skoranek going. Oh, he did something coming right off the line of scrimmage.
Kept going across, grabbing the back of that leg. So looks like training staff will look at Skoranek. Meantime, it is second down with a flag down. Book a shot for Keys, overthrown and intercepted. So for the second time in as many drives, Book throws a pick. It's Josh Blackwell. Let's see if this penalty's on due.
This one is coming back, and just in the neutral zone before the ball is snapped.
Offside. Defense, number 96. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Their big sack man, Chris Rumpf.
He's walking around trying to get a jump, and you can see him just come in the neutral zone just a hair early. Again, another ball that got away from Ian Book.
Charge timeout. Duke. They're first. 30 seconds.
That'll be an interesting one, Tony, to ask when you talk to Tommy Rees or Ian Book. You're a veteran quarterback. Did you know you had the offside?
Absolutely,
with free play?
Yeah, I saw him offside, and I took a shot. That's what they always come back and tell you, right?
And when the quarterbacks tell you that, do you believe them?
Depends on who it is.
You know, the guy who went offside there that gives Brian Kelly's team the free 5 yards in second and 5. Chris Rumpf, 96 for Duke. We had a chance to visit with him. A terrific football player, but also a great perspective on everything that's happened here and how fortunate these players feel to be playing out here today when some of their brethren in the Pac-12 and the Big Ten are not.
No, he really did. He was just an infectious personality. He's a leader, and he's a guy that said, hey, I've got to make some things happen if we're going to win this ball game. He had a great game last year rushing over these guards, giving them swim and wiggle inside, and that's what he's trying to do here.
His dad is a defensive assistant coach with the Houston Texans. Book throwing underneath. His pass is complete. That'll be right near the first down marker with Joe Wilkins, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida. Mark Gilbert, the tackle. It's going to be just short, and a timeout taken by the Irish.
And that was another great rush by Chris Rumpf, using his hands on Haynes. He didn't quite get there, but using the hands, and he's not a power rusher. He's a speed swim guy.
We mentioned his dad being an assistant in the National Football League with the Houston Texans, and we saw Lucas on Thursday night in the NFL kickoff show. There is Chris with his dad. His dad coaches the outside rushers, the likes of Whitney Merciless, and he got to spend more time with his dad and the family because the pandemic, not only was he home, but Dad was home, not with the Texans as often. So we asked him, did Dad pick up, give you any moves to pick up, any pass rush moves like maybe he works with Whitney Merciless?
Well, you can see it. This guy is a great technician, and he's got a lot of movement. He's got a lot of subtle moves, and you can tell he's been well coached. He said his dad is pretty tough on him, too.
And he did say it was a great time because it's the first time he and Dad really had time to spend in an offseason like that, as many of those family time moments a benefit of this very difficult time for so many. Second down run here by Williams, and Kyron Williams will get the first down to the 32-yard line. 43 seconds, 2 timeouts, and the Irish hustle it up to get the next play call. Changing personnel there, about 8-9 seconds go. Offside, free play for Book underneath. It's Trimble. Tight end tried to elude one hit. He did. Knocked out at the 39. To gain a 7, maybe 8. We'll check the call.
And again, Duke just trying to anticipate that snap count, trying to get there, and just a hair early. Offside right in here.
25 seconds left. We'll take the 1st and 5 with a 2nd and
Offside. Defense. That penalty's declined. Second down. Timeout. Notre Dame. Their second charge timeout. 30 seconds.
It's the Irish down to 1 here.
You know, Mike, Brian Kelly told us that this pandemic had altered practice a little bit, and some of the things they didn't get to work on were their specialty packages, short yardage, goal line, red zone, 2 minute. They're a little bit behind, and it looks like it here. I don't know that they're just quite as crisp as they normally would be.
Yeah, they usually are very crisp in these situations. You see the success Brian's had the last 3 years. Notre Dame Stadium has been full on so many of these Saturdays. Won 18 in a row here. Been a great atmosphere, but it's a very different time, obviously. The staff, parents, and the students all assigned, as Jack Collinsworth told you in the pregame, assigned certain seats. The Duke folks who made their parents are here. The band is here, and the band adds a lot of atmosphere to this as well.
They really do. Yeah. They really do.
And it's not the same throughout the ACC. Watched North Carolina beat Syracuse earlier today. No fans there, and atmosphere is a little bit different than it is here. First down, and Book throws complete across midfield with Joe Wilkins. It got out of bounds. That's a good job by Wilkins to stop the clock with 19 seconds left.
Excellent job by him getting out of bounds. You're frustrated if you're the Duke defensive players. You've got to take that angle, get on the outside leg, and get him down, keep the clock moving.
So Skoranek goes out with the injury. Wilkins comes in and comes up with the catch. He's been showing more consistency to this staff. Pressure picked up. Book scans, fires, complete again to the 33. Again, it is Wilkins. That's 3 in a row for Joe.
Yes, you said scan, Mike. Excellent job by Kyron Williams, the back. He's lined up here on the right. He sees the possible blitz, comes across and picks it up, gives Book a chance to make this throw.
Seen a lot of Wilkins in practice over the last couple of years, but with the bigger names in front of him, very good performers, did not catch a ball all of last year. 12 seconds left, and Book got to do something quick. Chase in trouble, gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line with 7 seconds left. We'll get some yardage out of that as the Duke player is injured back behind the play. And I believe that is Chris Rumpf, who we were just talking about. There's 7 seconds left as they look at Rumpf. Ball's at the 30-yard line. Irish do have a timeout left. And they have a kicker who's got the leg to do this in Jonathan Dorr. He'll be kicking into a bit of a wind.
But you've got a chance with the 1 timeout. You can run one more play and try to pick up 3-4 yards. Get him a little bit closer. You know you've got that timeout.
See Rumpf holding his midsection there as he comes off the field. Happy to see him walk off. He is a really good player. What an X factor. One of the top edge rushers in this conference this year. Let's see what happens to him.
He is rushing. Oh no, he's Chris Rumpf is right there.
He might have gotten a foot in the side there too.
Yeah, as he hit the ground.
All right, so there's Dorr, the kicker. He waits 7 seconds. Irish know they've got to be quick here. The pressure's on, and Book just gets rid of it. Incomplete in the area of Michael Mayer. So no intentional grounding, and we will have the 47-yard field goal attempt coming up from Jonathan Dorr. Dorr hit one from 52 last year against USC. We're coming in to replace Justin Yoon, who left with a terrific record resume as the Notre Dame kicker. And Dorr was very consistent last year. Officially, it'll be a 48-yard field goal attempt. It through on the final play of this first half. So some key completions to Joe Wilkins put the Irish in position. Dorr good for 48. And Notre Dame takes a 4-point lead into the locker room. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Stay tuned for the State Farm Halftime Report right after these messages. And a word from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Opening day of this ACC season, for Notre Dame. Irish leading Duke 10-6 as we get set to start the third quarter. Mike Tirico, Tony Dungy, Jack Collinsworth. There's from Jack at halftime. Terry McCauley with us in the studio as well. The first half numbers, Notre Dame unable really to run it very well. A lot of that punt return, the big punt, I should say, in the first half. Passing yards about even, same there. The turnovers, Notre Dame won. Ian Book a red zone turnover. And a 4-point lead for Brian Kelly over David Cutcliffe's team. Adjustment time, Coach. What do you think in second half? Let's look at Notre Dame first.
Well, Coach Kelly, I know he's not happy with that less than 30 yards by his running backs running the ball. I'd like to see some misdirection runs. That got Kyron Williams going early. So I'd like to see some of that. Maybe a reverse in there, slow that Duke pursuit down. On the other side, Coach Cutcliffe told us we've got to make big plays in the passing game. Notre Dame's secondary is playing great, so maybe those would come from tight end Noah Gray or running back Deion Jackson.
Yeah, get those other guys who are two of their best offensive players as a bigger part of this. I'll tell you, Duke belongs on the field here with Notre Dame. It's a first game after an uncertain offseason, but I think Duke athletically looks so much better than they did in the game against the Irish last year.
No, they've got to be happy about the way they're competing, and other than being offsides and an interception, they'd be right in this ball game. So I think they are confident coming out in the second half.
Notre Dame offense, a lot of conversation who would be the playmakers in that offense. Ben Skoranek, the wide receiver, the grad transfer from Northwestern, pulled up after a play in the first half. We haven't seen Braden Lindsey, the speedster, who showed the great speed in the run and receiving game at times in the second half of last year. We did see Chris Tyree with an impressive kickoff return the first time around. Let's see if the freshman gets the ball in his hands here. As the ball is kicked, the second half is underway. Charlie Ham sends it. And here comes Tyree out of his own end zone. Read that nice. Good patience for the flag down. We'll see this one come back for an illegal block. Brought it out past the 25-yard line.
But you saw the vision of Tyree there, finding that open lane and making a move to get there.
During return, holding, offense number 52. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So Bo Bauer, the linebacker, who was very good on special teams for the Irish last year, guilty there, and it'll be a long field for Brian Kelly's team. In that first half, you mentioned, Tony, the second leading rusher, Jay Bramlett, the punter, with 14 yards. Never a good sign. Kyron Williams had 12 for 14, but not much. And Ian Book, his stats in the first half, 11 of 18. You see the one pick. So after the penalty, Notre Dame will start from its own 13-yard line. Scored on the last drive. And receivers to the left. Williams to the right. He's out of bounds as Lummy Young was trying to tackle him, but it's a first down at the 23 and a gain of 10.
And again, this was a play they had a little success with in the first half. Left side coming across the field.
The Irish should hope to be a better running team inside the tackles. Not showing that yet. Their best stuff has come on the edge. Same place for Williams. That time 3 to the 26-yard line. We saw Chris Rumpf get injured in the first half. He's back out there. Shaka Hayward over there with him to make the tackle. The Duke team, as we mentioned last year, 5-7. They started 4-2, lost 5 of their last 6. Struggled to score late. Their opener last year was against Alabama, and they lost 42-3. So for the second consecutive year, the top 10 team, a traditional national power, opening the season for the Blue Devils. And very much in this one in the rain in South Bend. Williams again, very elusive with that twisting, turning move. Hard to bring down, but Duke has just been steady and solid. Only a gain of 1, 3rd and 6 ahead.
I think Coach Kelly said in the locker room, we've got to get this run game going, and they are trying to feature Kyron Williams here.
Javon McKinley, Avery Davis in at receiver for the Irish. Flag down as Book throws. It's complete to McKinley. through the traffic from that bunch on the near side. First down at the 39-yard line. Let's see how they were lined up there.
No, I think Duke's offsides again.
There's another flag down in the middle of the field, not near that line of scrimmage foul. 4 penalties on the Blue Devils in the first half, 3 on the Irish.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Pass interference, offense number 24. Offside, defense number 96. Those penalties offset. Replay the down. Third down.
On Duke's long pass, Terry McCauley told us that there was a little offensive pass interference, and this looked like the same thing, just coming off, trying to create some space. That's a tough call on Tommy Trimble.
Clearing out that space. Terry watching in the studio caught what could have been offensive pass interference on the 55-yard completion for Duke's Eli Pankow in the first half, helped lead to the Blue Devils score. So it's 3rd and 6 again, and Books throws high and incomplete for the second time. Booker, the bit of an overthrow, was intended for Kyron Williams. They'll punt the ball away, and we go down to Jack.
Yeah, some unfortunate injury news for Notre Dame. Grad transfer for Notre Dame. Ben Skoranek is out for the remainder of the game.
We saw him pull up on that late second quarter pass route. Grabbed with that left hamstring a couple of times. He's been out here from the start of the second half, but we will not see him in action. Again, Tony pointed out, Skoranek more career receptions than the rest of the returning Irish players combined. Ramlett, tough to catch tumbler, brought in at the 36 by Josh Blackwell. Covered well. He returns at 4 to the 40-yard line. Isaiah Pryor made the stop. In the rain in South Bend, Notre Dame by 4. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. And by Little Caesars, get the lowest price pizza delivered, guaranteed. Our aerial coverage here in South Bend, presented by Geico. The rain has started a little heavier than it was during that first half. There's a line of storms lining up, moving from the southwest to the northeast, right through South Bend. See how much it impacts this second half. Second half possession for the Blue Devils. And Chase Price finds that tight end who he loves to throw it to. Noah Gray, the reception. Great tackle, minimal gain of 3. That's Gray's 3rd catch of the afternoon.
It'll be interesting to see. Coach Cutcliffe talked about shot plays, big plays, dialing up, see what he's come up with to loosen up this Notre Dame defense.
2nd and 7. They run Deion Jackson to the right. Jackson trying to work through a couple of Irish defenders. He did a nice job to gain 2 yards. Myron Tagovailoa Mosa, Drew White in on the stop. White's 2nd year as a full-time player. Tagovailoa Mosa, one of the experienced tackles, along with 41 Kurt Heinrich returning. We have an injured Duke player. Their left tackle Casey Holman is walking slowly to the sideline. Irish came over to the numbers like it was a full timeout, but it's not. So they'll head back out on the field for this 3rd down. Notre Dame starting here with Duke, then South Florida next Saturday, followed by a visit to Wake Forest, then an open week. And we say that's the schedule because things are very flexible in this season. We'll tell you more about that in a second. It's 3rd and 5 for the Blue Devils. Irish bring in 6. Bryce got rid of it. Good catch. Jalen Calhoun, but he lost the football. And Notre Dame is on it. Injured Irish player as well after the hit. It's Kyle Hamilton, their terrific safety, grabbing at his left leg.
Early on the field, the receiver caught the ball, fumbled it, recovered by the defense. First down, Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame comes up with the turnover, but the concern for their best player in the secondary, Hamilton. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
This guy is special, Mike. He just makes plays all over the field.
And you see as Owusu-Koramoah made the hit, Calhoun, as he went down into the leg of Hamilton. So look at the Irish safety as we step out. There's Kyle Hamilton, who did walk off very slowly and limped, and is now being looked at by the athletic training staff under the tent on the Notre Dame sideline. And Hamilton, a sideline-to-sideline key part of this defense. After the forced fumble by Owusu-Koramoah, you saw that ankle get rolled up by Jalen Calhoun, who lost the ball. And Sean Crawford comes up with the recovery for the Irish, so they take over at the 41. Kyron Williams bouncing outside. A nice run here by Williams. First contact does not bring down the sophomore running back, Tony.
That was a really strong run. Again, Notre Dame now trying to get some angle blocking, get him outside, pin that defense inside. Well done.
Notre Dame has thrown it 19 times, completing 11 of the 19. Of those 11 completions, only 3 to a wide receiver, all to Joe Wilkins in the last minute of the drive at the end of the first half. It's in the hands of Keys on the edge. Got a block from Williams to the 43-yard line. So Lawrence Keys, first down run of 5 for the junior from New Orleans.
I like this, though. A little different type of running, trying to diversify the running game. Not going right at those guys. Just a little jet sweep. Use the speed of Keys. Get some blocks on the outside. Create some movement.
They've had some personnel issues to sort out there. Tommy Trimble clears the field. Tommy Rees, first regular season game as the play caller for the former Irish quarterback. Book, a lot of room here. Book will take off. He'll get the first down and get out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Tony, it's that weird thing. Talking about wanting to see Ian Book in the pocket and read it out with the progressions, but he's really good at that.
He is, and you can't take away what he does well and what really gives defenses problems. So I know he's trying to sit in there and make his reads, but be a player, Ian, and do what you do and make first downs.
Irish on the move at the Duke 35. Inside give to the freshman Tyree. Chris Tyree stopped after a gain of only a yard. That time, Derek Tangelo shaken up in the first half. Back out there for Duke with the tackle along with Chris Rupp.
Derek Tangelo and Fry have really played well inside. Going out right now, a little sub package here.
Notre Dame coming up with personnel, get 4 wide here and just the 1 back, so Duke matches up for 2nd and 9. And Book fires sideline, 1 foot inbounds, and Wilkins with the catch. It's been a good game for Joe Wilkins, his 4th grab. And it'll be 3rd down and about 3 coming up.
An excellent read by Ian Book. He saw the blitzing corner, good adjustment, and that is an excellent catch. That's an NFL catch. They're both beat in.
I take that back. Absolutely. It's
yes.
Thursday, Sunday, Monday good. Nice job by Wilkins.
Yes. He's been impressive.
Only 4 wide receiver grabs designed to run. Book on the edge. Got a block. And very close to the first down yardage. See if they mark him at
be a little short.
Yep. 4th and short. One thing Brian Kelly has done over the last few years, when Chip Long was the play caller and now it's Tommy Rees, and Tommy was the quarterback coach, so on the staff. At the start of the drive, he lets them know we're going to go when we get to a certain point on the field. So there's no dilly-dally and wasting time. What are we going to do? We're going.
And that helps you on your 3rd down call as well. Hey, if we don't make it, I know I've got another down.
4th and short, and Duke is going to be forced to use a timeout.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Weren't in the right formation there, Mike.
Yeah, I was looking over at the Duke sideline watching their coaches. My apologies. ND timeout before 4th down.
There used to be only one way to buy a car, till CarMax changed all that. Now, the pool is a CarMax. The lake, a CarMax.
low-scoring game. Irish by 4, 4th and 1, and Brian Kelly's team had to take a timeout before going for it here on 4th and short. Edge run or power run?
You got to go power run. He's got his big people in there, and I'm going right behind my guys on the left side.
It's Liam Eichenberg and Aaron Banks.
Banks.
Tried the hard count. Now they will go. Yep, bouncing outside. It is Kyron Williams. He will go the distance. Notre Dame touchdown, Kyron Williams.
And this is a lot of Kyron Williams, too. This is supposed to be an inside run going left, but he sees it. He's going to get behind his big people here. Tommy Trimble gets a good block. We're going left, but he's going to bounce it outside. Use the speed, very instinctive.
We're talking about Trimble as a pass catcher, but by his ability to hold that edge, allowed Williams to bounce it, take it 26 yards, his second rushing touchdown. Jonathan Dorr knocks it through sideways, and the Irish up 11.
And again, this is just really, really good running. Many guys would just pound it in there, try to get it, but he sees the opening outside, and once he gets there, it's all over. But that was just using that vision and being a football player.
Well, definitely with Williams, the sophomore out of St. Louis, and Chris Tyree, the freshman, who we've seen really show this on a couple of kickoff returns. There seems to be more of that vision with the ability to hit it and go that may not have been as much a part of Notre Dame's running offense last year.
And the confidence that, hey, my running back coach, he's not going to get mad at me. If I see something, I can take it and be a football player. So that was just great instinctive running and not really worrying about the situation. Oh, I've got to get these 6 inches. Just run where the daylight is.
Williams played briefly last year, 4 games. Came in early in 1 game, played a play, missed an assignment, didn't play the rest of the game, and other backs just took the role. So he has the eligibility and the opportunity on the job in this preseason and has 2 touchdowns here this afternoon. See if the dangerous kick return man can bring it back. Damian Filia-Johnson, but he is stopped shy of the 30 to 28-yard line.
Yep, Isaiah Foskey, and they told us about him. As a matter of fact, Dalen Hayes told us about him, said he is explosive off the edge. And not only that, but smart. Look at the hands there. Another rush that almost caused a turnover. And here, big play near the goal line. Didn't get sucked in on the play fake. Played his responsibility to the quarterback.
Foskey joins Hayes, Ade Ogundeji as those defensive ends who should make the impact for Notre Dame this year. Losing a couple of big names to the NFL. Here's Bryce, first down. He throws deep, and it is nearly intercepted, almost on the deflection. Back in the body of Panko, but DJ Brown, who came in because of Kyle Hamilton's injury, was back there. There is a penalty marker back where all that action occurred.
Duke going for play action, trying to get a big play.
After the play was
well
over,
covered.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. This is number 20's first unsportsmanlike penalty of the game.
If you get 2, you're out. Sean Crawford picking up that penalty after the pass breakup.
He's Ian Book's roommate, and Ian said he is feisty.
He did.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, certainly was nothing there, but they kicked the ball after that. There's the run by Deion Jackson to the right. Jackson keeping those legs churning to the 48-yard line. We saw that play. Now we'll go back and show you what happens here.
Okay, so he's just frustrated they didn't get the interception.
They bring in Terry McCauley. Terry, is that an automatic? You got to throw that flag?
It pretty much. When you kick it with any force and the ball goes out through the end zone, that's just too much. He's got to be more mature and better than that.
All right, Terry. So after the first down run, Bo Bauer in the backfield for Notre Dame, helping to make the play along with Jacob Lacey, the sophomore defensive tackle, corralling Deion Jackson.
And Bo's had a great camp. They talked about him and how instinctive he is and how that's a backdoor play. Great read.
So it brings up 3rd and 5. Fans who are here have stayed involved, making some noise. And good coverage by Dalen Hayes, dropping there as the pass by Bryce had to be thrown over the head or it would go the other way and it'll bring up 4th down.
Again, well set up by Notre Dame. They bring pressure off the defensive right side, drop Dalen Hayes off the left side, and he gets in the throwing lane.
So David Cutcliffe's team has seen the offense slow down after a couple of good early drives. The redshirt freshman Porter Wilson back to kick. Sends Lawrence Keys back inside the 10. Keys makes the catch at the 7. And the Irish will take over after the 45-yard kick. 6.5 to go here in the 3rd in South Bend, and the Irish plus 11.
Goodbye.
Hey, Tony, what are you doing Sunday night? We got to work.
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
Cowboys-Rams, beautiful SoFi Stadium. They'll open that up. You can play Sunday night 7 and watch along, but we'll be with you Football Night in America, 7 Eastern Time. With Rodney, Chris Sims, and Mike Florio. Get you caught up on Sunday 1 of the NFL season. And now Chris and Michelle from Los Angeles with the Rams and the Cowboys for the season premiere of Sunday Night Football. Irish take over at the 8. Nowhere to go for Chris Tyree. Very well read by Rocky Shelton, the linebacker.
And Tommy Trimble, I think, passed up the block here. They might have had something.
Trimble credit a moment ago for the block on the touchdown. It's caught 4 for 40 yards. 2nd and 12. Book protected. There's catch 5 for Trimble. He's brought down quickly at the 9. Christian Hood, freshman, who enrolled in Durham in January, out there to make the play. It was key points in the game, Tony. If Notre Dame was able to put a drive together here, go up 20, 24-6, puts Duke on their heels. A stop here could be good field position.
This is a big play for the Duke defense.
Design run. Book. Brought down at the 14. Almost snuck through. Good defense will bring up 4th down.
Good ball. Was showing the blitz dropping out, and I thought they might catch them.
That's been Victor Dumakagi making that play. Let's see.
You can see right over the center. They're going to drop out. I'm not sure what they're looking at, and just oh boy, that is a great play coming inside.
Preseason 2nd team all ACC. Dumakagi did a really good job at a big time there. Not the best kick from Bramlett. 34 yards caught on the run by Blackwell. He'll be down at the 37-yard line. When he runs back, they'll mark him at the 39. But like we said, big 3rd down, big stop, bad punt. Great opportunity here for Duke with 4:43 left in the 3rd.
Now this is where Duke has to make something happen. You got the momentum, got the big stop from your defense. Look for David Cutcliffe maybe to take a shot here down the field.
You know, Tony, we haven't seen much at number 1, John Tavis Robertson, freshman, who they really like. He just jumped in the game here. He's in the slot right at the ST on 1st and 10. Bryce is going to give it on 1st down. And just a gain of a yard, maybe 2, into the waiting arms of Drew White goes Mateo Durant.
You're right about Robertson. They told us they've got to get him in the game. He can make things happen, and wouldn't be surprised to see a ball go to him.
Duke's like Notre Dame, looking for those playmakers to develop on the edge here. Chase Bryce, former Clemson quarterback. There it is to the hands of Robertson. First down and more inside the 25-yard line. So he makes his first college football catch, and there'll be plenty more to come after that, one would think.
Yep. He's in the slot. Got the play call widened out and just comes in on a slant. Nice hands catch, and he runs like a running back.
At the 24. Bryce fakes that toss and tries to pop it to Gray. He's got it. The tight end couldn't stay in bounds, but it'll be first and goal, Noah Gray.
That's one of those shot plays. They're faking the option, making it look like an option, and Noah Gray is going to be fake the lead block and then just keep going. Well done.
So to the 5-yard line, first and goal. And on the give, Durant, who's seeing action on this series, is stopped. Second and goal. Again, it just takes one play by someone to change a game, and you never know when. And that tackle on the book scramble by Dumakaji may have given Duke an opportunity here.
And we need some misdirection here if you're Duke.
Second and goal. There it is, Tony. And on the edge, Durant is stopped. Big hit. Sean Crawford. Wow, he is showing some terrific safety instincts in this ball game. He's played corner most of his Notre Dame career.
He really is. They said he's made this adjustment seamlessly. He sees the ball. He knows what's going on. And that was a big play now to put him in another huge third down.
Leofow, the linebacker, Maris Leofow, stretched it out. Crawford cleaned it up. Third and goal for the Blue Devils. Bryce gonna run. Bryce is in for the touchdown. So Chase Bryce, those couple of years at Clemson, saw a ton of playing time in their big margins over opponents. Looking very comfortable on this drive, and Duke is back in it.
Go to an empty formation, spread everything out, design quarterback run. Big body and good hard running. Went after it and tightened this game up now.
Yep. Ran it 30 times. Had a touchdown for Clemson last year. Charlie Ham on for the extra point. 4-point game. 2:19 here in the third. So a big flip in the game all of a sudden there is Duke within 4. Remember, this is a Duke team that came in here a few years back with the Giants quarterback now, Daniel Jones, and knocked off Notre Dame when they were a 3-touchdown favorite. The Irish were upset on that day. Big favorites here today, and the Blue Devils right in this one. Latter stages of the third.
And you mentioned that, Mike, and Chase Bryce told us that watching Daniel Jones was a big reason why he came to Duke. He loved to see the development of Jones into a first-round pick.
We mentioned Trevor Lawrence a couple of times. Chase Bryce backing him up at Clemson. Came in the game often. He played, Tony, 25 games, 384 snaps. No, Lawrence in that big leads that Clemson had, but he really had learned a lot from his time at Clemson.
He did, but the interesting thing, he told us it's different when you go in the fourth quarter. I played a lot,
right,
but playing in the first quarter, starting a game, this is his first start since high school. He's playing well.
Notre Dame kickoff return. The freshman Tyree. He bottled up here. Not much room to run. Well covered by the Blue Devils. Tyree's down to the 17-yard line. Well, David Cutcliffe mentioned upset here before. As we mentioned at the top, it's really taken a basketball school and given it a lot of respect here in football. I talked to Mike Krzyzewski this week, the Hall of Fame coach, one of the greats of all time. Coach K said that Cut is a perfect fit for Duke. He goes out and gets the talent that fits the environment. Coach K made the parallel to Notre Dame. You've got the academic requirements. You have to find the right talent to fit your environment there. He said David Cutcliffe's very at home here, real quality person. And the football weekends on campus have continued what usually happens in the winter at Cameron and at Durham. The unity that a campus feels when you have great sports going on. Football part of that now.
Oh, wow.
Book's pass incomplete for
The
Kyron
screen,
Williams.
and they had it set up. They want to let this pressure come. Duke's pressuring inside. Let the rushers come. And they've got the lineman out in front. If he catches this ball, there is no one here. You can see all of this room if he catches the ball. That's a big miss.
Second and 10. They'll hand it to Williams. And he's got the first down. Runs over the DB Gilbert to get to the 32.
I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't want to jump on you. But
go ahead.
That counter run. They start left, come back right, misdirection, use Duke's speed against them. Need to see more of that.
Williams over 100 yards with that one. Pretty good first start. Book off the spot, scrambling. No receiver to that side, so he heads for the sideline. One of the folks carrying the water jugs for Duke there got knocked down. An injured player back where Book started his journey, and again it's Rumpf grabbing at his foot there.
Victor Dimukeje came again on a pass rush stunt, looped around, coming from the inside, forced the Book out of the pocket.
So there's a third down before I was going to mention something, and then we got sidetracked for a moment. But I just want to point out for Duke fans, their schedule has changed today, and that's an example of what's going on in college football. Virginia Tech is supposed to play next week. Game was canceled as Virginia Tech has stopped football for 4 days or so, as they have obviously had some positive COVID tests. So what was an off day, week 3, is now Duke playing Virginia, a game that was supposed to happen in November. So November 14th between North Carolina and Wake Forest was Virginia. Open common day with Virginia and Duke, allow them to go there. Virginia to move their Virginia Tech game back down in November where it usually is. But that's the kind of thing you're going to see this year. And teams have to be ready and flexible for it. And Duke truly found out about that at 11 o'clock this morning, after word got out around 9 a.m. as we were heading here to the stadium, that Virginia Tech next week was going to be canceled. Second down, here is Book. Again flush. Nobody's getting open on the initial plays. Book stops on the dime and does a nice job to get some yardage out of that to the 34. It's a gain of 5. It'll bring up third down in the final minute of the third.
These new receivers, Mike, I think they've got to get used to breaking off the routes and moving with Book, giving him some help when he scrambles.
And even though it feels like those are made-up plays, that's a lot of time together, right?
Yes, you work on that, and that, again, is one of the things Brian Kelly said they probably haven't had a chance to work on with practices being disrupted.
3rd and 8. Duke bringing 5. Irish pick it up. Book throws complete. Avery Davis has a first down. DeMarcus forward progress at the 42.
Nice route by Davis. He pushed up, came back to the football, created separation, made himself available.
Been a high school dual threat quarterback and a running back, now settling in at receiver for this year.
Watch him come back to the ball. That's well done.
That will bring the third quarter to an end. Each team a touchdown in the third. Off we go to the fourth. Irish 17, Blue Devils 13. We'll be back at Notre Dame Stadium for the fourth quarter after these messages from your local NBC station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. We are so excited for next week on Peacock, on Golf Channel, and right here on NBC. The 120th United States Open at Winged Foot. Tiger will be there. All the big names will be there, of course. So happy to have the U.S. Open, the USGA National Championships back on our NBC family of networks. Fourth quarter begins. Book and the Irish up 4. Book for a shot downfield. 4 Keys incomplete. Trying to go the distance with Lawrence Keys. That might be the first ball that's been in the air over 20 yards all game for the Irish.
It really was. They set it up very nicely. 2 tight end package, fake the play action, and Keys with no middle safety, no help. He's got the whole field. Just misfired just slightly. And I think that's a good no call.
So 2nd and 10, an inside run for Jafar Armstrong. He'll take it about 2 yards. Armstrong has been involved in the pass game a couple of times, and that's his first run of the season. Armstrong ran it 46 times for the Irish last year.
Another big 3rd down for that Duke defense. See what they dial up. They tried to mix the pressures and different looks and blitzes. Curious to see what package they have going here.
And Matt Guerreri, their defensive coordinator, David Cutcliffe, said one of the better young coaches I've been around in some time. He and Ben Albert sharing the coordinator duties. Jim Knowles to Oklahoma State now. Book's got a crosser, the freshman Mayer. Can he get out of the tackle? Oh, he did. What a play. And he kept running. And he got the first down. Josh Blackwell was hanging on. Wait, Tony, isn't that the guy you told me they call Baby Gronk? 87. He made a good play there.
We said we were going to see this freshman tight end. He's here, going to run the shallow cross. This is well played by Duke, but this is just great effort and what he can do. Mayer runs through the tackle, gets the first down. That was a huge play for Notre Dame.
The Notre Dame folks were the ones who said, hey, he's like a baby Gronk. And I kind of laughed when I heard that. But 87, the big body, and play like that. All right. We'll give you the nickname for another week. Williams trying to make somebody dance. Oh, he did a good job stopping the defender's feet and got to the 41-yard line. That's a good individual effort by Kyron Williams.
Well, they've talked about this guy. They told us he won this starting job. He needs to be our lead back. And you can see why right here. Fake the draw, run the toss. They've got this dead to right. Stutter, makes a move, makes something out of nothing.
Pretty good defender. And Drew Jordan, he did that too.
He froze him and made the play.
2nd and 3. The inside run. Because he spun across the body, Armstrong, let's see, they're going to mark him at the 39. Probably might have gotten that extra yard. It'll be 3rd and 1 where it's spotted.
Here come the big tight ends back in.
And Notre Dame brings Jameer Smith in the game. Haven't seen him yet. 34 for the Irish. 5'11", 205. They say about Smith, he'd rather run over you than around you.
Well, he may have a chance here.
Short yardage has been an issue for Notre Dame last year. They expect it to be better this year. And Smith tries to run over somebody and does.
Got it.
To the 34, first down, gain of 5.
But that's what you expect. Hey, our offensive line, we've got to be able to push the pile, make that first down, put a big back in there. Jameer went and got it.
First down, gain of 5.
From the 35, Book gets it out to Williams in space. Kyron Williams turns it upfield inside the 20, and Williams works it to the 17-yard line. Nice run, gain of 18 on that pass from Book.
Really well done. Kyron Williams, they fake the ball to him, and he's just going to sneak and leak out here. Again, Duke gets lost. Again, very well done using Ian Book's mobility and a nice throw under pressure.
Book underneath, incomplete. Couldn't set and throw it to Mayer. Michael couldn't bring it in. Again, Independence, Kentucky, player of the year in that state. 6'4", 250. Notre Dame has cranked out a bunch of good tight ends here over the years. You'll see Cole Kmet for the Chicago Bears as this season goes on. Taking on day 2 of the NFL draft last year.
And they're keeping Mayer in this set, and they really like him in the red zone because of that big catch radius.
17, Book pumps, throwing sideline, and is incomplete. We saw Chase Claypool come up with so many of those last year for Notre Dame. Joe Wilkins was the intended receiver and well covered to bring up 3rd down.
This is that 50-50 ball, and we were asking Coach Kelly, who has the shots to get this? Who are you going going to throw to. And he talked to us about McKinley. He talked to us about Wilkins. Wilkins has played well. Couldn't come down with that one, though.
Leonard Johnson, nice job in that man coverage. The redshirt junior from Hayden, Alabama. So 3rd and 10 for the Irish. Pressure. Book steps up. End zone shot for Davis. Avery fought for it. Caught it. Notre Dame touchdown.
This was an all-out blitz, Mike. No help. And Notre Dame picked it up very, very well. Gave him that extra second to throw it. Again, watch Kyron Williams on the pickup. Just enough to give him a chance to throw. There's no middle safety. There's no help back there. There's a 50-50 ball that the Notre Dame player came up with. Avery Davis, big play.
2 5'11" guys going for that ball, and Book with the placement so Davis can spin that quote back shoulder and come up with the grab. Dorr adds the extra point, so Avery Davis bounced around a bunch. Dual threat quarterback in high school, running back, even over on the defensive side of the ball. Finds it at home in the receiver's position. Touchdown for the Irish. Irish up 11. Spent a lot of time talking about the football here today. And Jeff Quinn, the offensive line coach for Notre Dame, gets that offensive line a better second half performance. The timing with the lack of practices that Tony talked about, the regular plan for an off-season, a preseason, and then training camp. Everybody's in a little bit of adjustment mode. There's been so much going on, not just obviously everything with COVID-19 and the pandemic, also the social justice and the race conversations that have been a part of every town in America, certainly every campus, and you're going to see a lot of expressions throughout as you continue to watch sports. Duke has taken what is normally the white D on their helmet, and it will be in black for the entirety of the season, and a Black Lives Matter symbol will be posted on the back of every Duke helmet as we go through this season. One of the ways the Duke players are making their expression about the current climate of the country. And David Cutcliffe talked about how his players have spoken up and been leaders. Same has happened on the opposite side with the Notre Dame players as well. And on this campus, Chase Bryce taking over from the 25-yard line. Throws it out in the flat. And a good tackle by Jeremiah Owusu-Cormo on Deion Jackson. And Brian Kelly and the Irish players in the midst of all of this was part of a rally, a walk, an awareness conversation on this campus. Dalen Hayes was the one who was as vocal as any of the players. Matter of fact, he and Brian Kelly appeared on the Today Show. Conversation with our friend Craig Melvin about the on-campus portion of the Black Lives Matter movement and the race conversation in America. Deion Jackson tackled there by Isaiah Foskey, having an outstanding game at defensive end. But his defensive end partner, Hayes Tony, talked to us about his involvement in those conversations on campus.
And what I loved, it wasn't just protest, it wasn't just symbolic. They went to the Robinson Center for Conflict Resolution, and they were working with 4th and 5th graders. Action steps. I love to hear that and see that.
Yeah, Dalen Hayes has become very involved in those things in the South Bend community. This is 3rd and 15, and the screen set up for Jackson. Good defensive sequence by the Irish. Myron Tungo-Vailoa on the edge helped start it, and it will become a 4th down, and Duke will kick it away after Ade Ogundeji made the tackle.
It was a great series, and this is just going to be a quick swing out here, but you'll watch all of this pursuit, and this is what you love to see from any defense, but Notre Dame exhibits this. They get to the football, so many players getting there.
You know, as a defensive coach, you always loved, you get a score, you get the momentum, back up 11, come down and shut them down right away.
3 and out, huge.
Porter Wilton sends it. 40-yard kick, fair caught by Lawrence Keys. Irish will take over the 43. 9:06 to go in the game. ND plus 11. Above the Rest is brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs.
The best player on the field for Notre Dame's offense has been Kyron Williams, doing it all. There's a blitz pickup that leads to a touchdown. And now the toss outside. Get there, put your head down, run through tackles, make yardage, and then 4th and 1. Bounce it outside and skate to the end zone. He over 200 all-purpose yards today. He's shown why Notre Dame wants him as their lead back today.
112 on the ground, 93 through the air. And a couple of touchdowns for Kyron Williams, St. Louis, Missouri. Only touched it 5 times all year last year. And here is the freshman Tyree with acceleration into the secondary. Bumped down hard, but a good strong run. Mark Gilbert the tackle. But Tyree pouring it on here as the Irish take control of this 4th quarter.
Here you're going to see what those coaches talked about, electric. This speed through the hole. Watch the acceleration. When he sees it, he hits it.
25 yards to number 25. Mark Gilbert brought him down. Ian Book, last snap before that one was his first touchdown pass of the season. Ian had 34 last year. He now has 58 in his career. Chance to move up the Notre Dame all-time list with a good season this season. Here's Michael Mayer, the freshman tight end, on the edge with space. Mayer brought down the 17-yard line. Duke has some players shaken up.
These play-action, misdirection passes have been very, very good for Notre Dame.
As they look at the injured Blue Devil, a timeout. Willie Young, the 4th, was down for most of that timeout. Notre Dame receiver Joe Wilkins blocked him as he was coming across the middle trying to make that tackle, and he's being helped to the Duke locker room. Back to the play.
And here we go. Watch this misdirection for the tight end Michael Mayer. He's going to change motion and then come all the way back behind the line of scrimmage. Okay. So he gets Young moving, leak through the line of scrimmage, play action. Love the design of some of these things, getting his people involved.
We saw as Young was trying to get back to his man as the misdirection happened. He ran right into Joe Wilkins, who was blocking. So he's helped to the locker room. Tyree stumbles. He's got those feet going. He'll drop a yard or so on that one.
He saw the opening. He wanted to cut it. Ended up in there, and he just a little too fast on the cut that time.
Tony, I've mentioned Wilkins a few times. He had 3 key catches on the drive that led to the field goal before halftime. Had another one here in the second half. Had that block. Did not have any catches last year. Mostly a special teams role. There are receiver catches to be had, and Wilkins is trying to make his claim for those here.
Yes, he has done a good job of, when his number's called, delivering.
2nd and 12. Halfway through the 4th, Irish by 11. And into the boundary that time, strung out. Josh Blackwell able to bring Tyree down. That'll be 3rd and long.
Another big down for the Duke defense. Got to get a stop here, force a field goal, keep it to a 2-score game.
If you're just tuning in, Notre Dame students, staff, faculty, and parents. I see some of the Blue Devil fans up in that corner at the top of your screen there. As we have another Duke player who just went down, was shaken up, couldn't get himself back for the next play. It's Blackwell who made the tackle earlier. And they'll attend to him. So Duke taking some hits here in this second half. But all those fans who are here, they were told, here are your seats. You have to stay in your seats. And if you have, your roommate with you, or you live in a single, you're by yourself, you're with a group of 6 who you live with. And as we look around, we see the fans collected in those pockets, Tony. And they've made a couple of announcements. Please respect all the work that's been done. And I thought Brian Kelly was really interesting talking to us about that there was a responsibility that these players, 18, 19, 20, have taken on. And the campus had that bump in COVID positive test early on. But now that they've gone back to school, the numbers have come down, and the students want to be here and try to finish out this fall semester under very difficult circumstances.
They do, and it was great. They said they actually had the players talk to the student body and encourage them. to stay involved and do the right thing and be responsible, and that's been great to see. And today you see it. Very disciplined in the stands, and they have made a lot of noise today.
Yeah, they've been about. There's been atmosphere. Like I said, watching a couple of the games earlier on, I watched that Navy BYU game. There were no fans in Annapolis, no fans at the game with North Carolina in Chapel Hill against Syracuse today, and a little atmosphere does make a ton of difference.
And here's where Ian Book just has to be smart. You'd like to make 15 yards and make the first down, but you don't want to turn the ball over.
Third and 13. Duke down a couple of their starters in the secondary with these injuries on this series. Pressure is picked up. Book looking, now taking off. He'll scramble, and he is brought down the 17-yard line. They gave him time.
And that's a great decision. Yeah, they had good coverage. Hey, I want to make this first down. But the field goal still puts us up 14, keeps the momentum. We're in field goal range. Don't force it in there. Don't make a bad decision. Hey, didn't make the first down, but we're okay with that.
One of those backups, Jamaric Woods, was reading that, and he broke on the ball, really broke on the runner, not the ball, very well to come get Book. He was in there because of that Young injury earlier. So Jonathan Dorr from 34 yards. Good from 48 earlier today. And it's his best looking kick of the day. He's 2 for 2. And the Irish extend the lead to 14. 5:21 left in the fourth quarter of the season opener. Well, next Saturday, it's the only non-conference game of the season for the Irish. They will take on USF, the Bulls from South Florida. And notice it's on USA Network at 2:30 Eastern Time. It's easy to remember. It's USF on USA because of the U.S. Open. We'll have U.S. Open golf on NBC. So South Florida in for their non-conference meeting with the Irish. That'll be the only one that Notre Dame has. Then the rest of it is the conference schedule. 10 ACC games, 11 in all. Everybody in the ACC who played an 11th game had to be an in-state game, had to play in your home stadium. Tony, it is odd to see the ACC logo and Notre Dame in a conference. We asked Brian Kelly about, hey, does that become part of the goal board? And he said, not really. It's still the same stuff we're working towards here.
No, when you're at Notre Dame, you're trying to win every football game. You're trying to get in the national championship hunt. He'll take that ACC championship along the way, but he doesn't want to focus on that.
And you may have to beat Clemson once or twice to get to a national championship if Notre Dame can do that. Obviously, Clemson, the #1 pick in this conference, then Notre Dame, and then North Carolina. As Bryce was hit there, that pass is incomplete. Again, we don't know how much of the season we're going to get played. Hopefully all of it. Jack Swarbrick, the athletic director, spoke with Jack Hollinsworth earlier. Notre Dame ended up picking this opportunity to go into the ACC, and you'll see Florida State and Louisville here. The North Carolina game later on in the year, but of course that Clemson game on November 7th, the Saturday after Election Day, could be, if the Irish have a good start to the season and Clemson does what most expect to, could be as good a game as we see in college football all year. The SEC obviously could have a couple of heavyweights that meet during the year, but if Clemson's won and they stay at 1 and the Irish can build off of this game, they have a pretty special day in here on November 7th, evening on November 7th. 3rd and 10 for Chase Bryce and the Blue Devils. Bryce flushed, lots of room here, and he's going to run for the first down and keep going across the 40. Nice run by Bryce all the way out to the 48-yard line. Terrific run of 23 by Bryce.
Yes, you're going to see some pressure coming off the outside. But he gets away, and now he's not going to slide. He's not going to go down. He's going to deliver some blows.
Got you, right? 5 minutes left. Got to make something happen. It's a 2-touchdown game. He's sacked here by Kurt Hinish. Had 2 sacks last year. Kurt Hinish, the senior from Pittsburgh, plays all those gritty downs inside there over the ball. Comes up with a little glory.
This is a big power rush by Hinish right here. Watch him just explode through the pocket, swim. Great pressure.
He got the best of the sophomore guard, Jacob Monk. Second and 15. Another run here, and Dalen Hayes will bring down Bryce at the 47-yard line. Dalen Hayes was injured last year, so when the bigger names were making the plays, like Julian Aquaru's now a Detroit Lion, and the guys off the edge were making the big plays, Khalid Kareem, Hayes had to watch the party from the sideline. And a year before, he was hurt. He lost a little bit of his love for football.
He did, and he said he got it back, and it was his faith that brought it back. So that was great to hear, and he's out there playing like he loves it.
3rd and 11. Hits Bryce as he throws complete to Noah Gray to the 31-yard line.
That was a nice ball by Chase Bryce and a nice move by Gray, and they're going to go a little up-tempo here.
3:29 left. They have to Cam Hart, the converted wide receiver, out there in coverage. Trying to sneak a score in here in the next minute or so. Give him a chance. It is Bryce delivering down the middle. It's incomplete. Going to bring up second down. You know, Tony, we're seeing Bryce's top receiver, Gray, coming off to get a break. Kyle Hamilton not in there after the injury to his leg in the 3rd quarter. They have his ankle taped up, Jack Collinsworth tells us, but he's not trying to run on the sideline. So it has forced DJ Brown, the junior from Annapolis, number 12, to be in there in that safety spot with Crawford. Here's pressure and a sack. Owusu Karamoa comes in to get Bryce. He's good when you block him. When you don't block him, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, he just does so many things, and in this substituted nickel package, he's playing near the line of scrimmage. He's going to come on a blitz. The back doesn't see it, misses him. And he's not going to miss the quarterback from there.
Duke is taking a timeout here with 2:55 to go. What an advantage, as we talked about Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who had a very good year, led this team in tackles last year. But when a guy like that can legitimately cover receivers in the slot in that rover position, then he's lined up. I think he's covering, and boom, here he comes, and there's a reason nobody blocks him.
He can play near the line of scrimmage. He can make open field tackles. We saw him make a great play on a pass downfield where he got his hand in just like a defensive back. He can blitz. As I said earlier, they call him Woo. That's his nickname. I want to change it to Wow because he makes a lot of wild plays.
You got it. Jack, look me at, man.
Owusu-Koramoah about Clark Lee, defensive coordinator. He said he's a virtuous man. He understands coaching's an on-field and off-field process where you take a kid who's away from his father, away from his mother, and you take time to cultivate half grown-ups. He said Coach Lee understands that you don't always need to yell or use profanity. He understands the mind. Even with defensive meetings, they don't start with football. They start with something that's going to better the men in everyday life. Sounds like somebody in the booth with you, Mike.
It's pretty neat, Jack. As you shared that yesterday, and we listened to Clark talk about his higher purpose beyond XO, and he's a pretty good football coach as well. Bryce lost that as he tried to throw it. That might be the empty hand and a fumble and a live ball and a Notre Dame recovery. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's ruled Notre Dame ball. The ball may have just slipped out of Bryce's hands or somebody got a piece, not sure. But it looked like the empty hand comes through, which is the first indicator for a fumble and a live ball.
That is definitely what happened. I don't know if the ball's a little bit damp or what, but it just came out of his hands as he's ready to deliver it. It's clearly a fumble.
Inade Ogundeji, one of the captains for the Irish, comes up with the recovery. And so Notre Dame will take over with 2:51 to go, up 14. It's frustrating here for Bryce, but Tony, I think we see pieces of, well, they're reviewing this upstairs, pieces of what might be a good Duke offense this year with Bryce at quarterback.
You really do. And David Cutcliffe is going to continue to build this young man. He's going to grow in the system. He's going to get more familiar with his receivers. But this was a different game than last year's Notre Dame-Duke game.
No doubt.
Duke is in it. They have confidence. They feel like they can make some things happen. It was a one-score game late in the 3rd quarter. So, you know, you'd never want to talk about moral victories, but they played this game a lot better than last year, and they've got some things to build on.
ruling is confirmed.
Now here's where you want to see Notre Dame take that offensive line and the running backs, and let's run this last 250 out. We're 2 scores up, but we're going to be in a situation maybe we're only 1 score up, and we've got to make first downs. Put the pressure on your guys to go out there and close this out.
I mentioned David Cutcliffe is calling the plays this year for Duke. Tommy Rees calling the plays for the Irish for the second game. Had that audition we mentioned earlier in the bowl game against Iowa State. Jameer Smith is the back. Stay in bounds. He does, and he gains 2. For Tommy Rees, he talked about how he was always calm when he played games here at Notre Dame. 4 years quarterback, playing for Brian Kelly as well. And when he called the plays at Iowa State after they made the decision to move on from Chip Long as offensive coordinator, he said he was really calm that day, and he felt really good about that. It reminded him of his playing days here in South Bend.
He said it was just like when he played. And the other thing I loved that he told us is the walkthrough. He said they didn't script that out. He just kind of called it. They moved the ball around in different situations. He wanted to get used to calling plays on the move.
Leading the play clock here, 2nd and 8, and Smith running through the middle. Powerful run within a yard of the first down with 2 minutes to go. I thought of that because I'm wondering, Tony, how calm was he after those first couple of 3-and-outs? You know, and you got your 9 plays and you got 10 yards into the first quarter, and Duke is outgaining you, you know, 151 to 25 or something like that. That had to be a little disconcerting, but this offense has progressively played better as we've gone on.
They did, and they played through it, and they got better, and they got to some good concepts in the second half. And he's going to learn something from this game, but he's still trying to feel out his players too, who can do what when the lights go on.
He's 28, one of the youngest coordinators in college football, certainly the Power 5, as the churning running back Smith gets the first down that will close this one out. Going to be the play caller for the guy you played for at that same school not that long. I mean, 7 years ago, he was the starting quarterback.
That reminds me of
you.
28 years old, becoming the defensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the guy I played for, Chuck Noll. And as I heard Tommy talking about it, it brought back memories. And he's in a good position. He has a great relationship with Brian Kelly. He's got a great relationship with Ian Book. He said he's now building those relationships with more than just the quarterbacks now, with the rest of the offensive players.
Shame it didn't work out for you.
I know.
A great Hall of Fame career. It's great to have you with us on these Notre Dame broadcasts and on campus here. And we watch the Irish come away with the opener here in game 1, 27-13.
I'll tell you, Mike, this is such a thrill for me, being back at a college football game for the first time in a long time, getting to talk to some of these players and coaches and the stories. Just hearing about Coach Lee and the respect that all these Notre Dame defenders have for him and how he's building into their lives. You know, that's what college football is all about, and it's great to be back and be a part of it.
And David Cutcliffe and Duke, you can see this program has been built quite well. And you hear the applause from the fans. This one wraps up. Good to see a college football game. And so many people worked so hard and sacrificed a lot to get to this point. And bravo to both schools and both teams, as well as college football and the ACC is being played. And Brian Kelly and David Cutcliffe with what is the greeting now for coaches and the players here. All the players, 3 COVID tests during the week. Everyone tested on Friday or right before competition. And everyone we saw play had a negative COVID test. So the players can play with the comfort that everyone on the field had tested negative, mitigating any of those circumstances. I wonder what the Pac-12 and the Big Ten players, look, the decisions are so complex, they're so difficult, there's so much out there, and Duke's medical folks have been incredibly enlightening to the ACC in this decision for these schools to play. But I'm sure those Pac-12 and Big Ten players and coaches watching games like this today and just...
And these teams have done a lot, Mike. They've been very disciplined. We talked to Ian Book. He said, I am in a bubble. I go to work. I go to practice. I eat there. I go home. Sean Crawford and I are roommates. We don't go anywhere. We want to play.
Sacrifice. Victory here for the Irish. And Brian Kelly standing by with Jack. Jack?
Coach, you told us this was your hardest offseason in 30 years as a head coach. What was it like to finally be back out here?
Oh, it was great. It was great just watching the guys compete. You know, hats off to Duke. They did a great job. Their game plan was outstanding. We had to make a lot of good adjustments. I thought our guys did a great job making some adjustments at halftime and, you know, played a lot better in the second half. I mean, a lot of rust on us in the first half. But again, you know, that's what we expected. You know, we hadn't played a lot of football. We hadn't played since December. And we knew it was going to be a grind, but they hung in there. And like I said, they played much better football in the second half. A lot to build off of, and we're excited to get this win.
Yeah, new faces all over on this offense, too. Who proved something to you today?
Well, I just think, you know, more than anything else, the second half as a group proved, you know, where we need to go. And, you know, we kept running the football. Chris, you know, obviously Tyree and Kyron, Joe Wilkins stepped up, made some great plays. Obviously, Mike Mayer, awesome. So a lot of young guys getting a first look at it, and we're going to be pretty good as we move forward.
And, Coach, that fake punt provided a little spark there. Why
we needed something. Everybody was kind of sleepy-eyed, so we needed to wake up a little bit.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Jack.
Congratulations.
All right, Brian Kelly gets the win, and the players are not going to stretch here. They're in the lines like stretch after the game, but they are doing this to remain socially distant, yet continue the tradition of the alma mater, Notre Dame, our mother. I would say as a sports fan and now coming here for 5 years to do these games, this was an emotional day. It really was, because, Tony, there were times I looked around the stands and just you think, man, what have we come to? It's so odd looking. Yet to see football and some normalcy felt really good. How did you feel here today?
It really, I'll tell you what, I was so excited. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, and we got here and we walked around the stadium, and you saw fans out there, but not as many people as we wanted to see. Yeah. But once we got here, it felt like football, and that was great.
Yeah, Ian Book with the victory for the Irish one more time, and he's down there with Jack now. Jack?
So, Ian, this was a unique offseason, to say the least. How do you describe finally being back on the field?
It feels great. It's you're right. It's been a long few months, and it just feels so good to be out here. Obviously, just to have our band, our students, our family. There's nothing like it, and to get a win.
Players surrounding you on this offense now too. Who proved something out here on the field today?
I'm just a lot, but I'm going to go with the running backs. Just Kyron and Tyree and Jafar, all those guys. They did a great job, but they've been doing that throughout camp, so it wasn't a surprise to me. And they bring a lot of energy out there, and a lot of those guys are young, and when they're doing that, that's huge.
And we appreciate the time, man.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, Jack, thank you. 21-3 as a starter. If you're Brian Kelly, is this one of those there's a lot to build on?
There really is. And you saw Kyron Williams. That's something you thought was going to be good. It turned out to be really good. That defense is swarming. I love it. I think we're going to build and be in excellent shape.
Next week, it's USF on USA Network. South Florida comes in here for the non-conference game of the year. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it is your local news. More sports coming up. Game 4, Vegas, Dallas, right here, NBC. Catherine Tappan and the guys get started at 8 Eastern Time. Next week, as mentioned, the Fighting Irish take on the Bulls of South Florida. It's USF on USA. 2:30 Eastern Time. With Tony Dungy, Jack Collinsworth, our producer Rob Highland, our director Pierre Musa. Good to be back with our Notre Dame on NBC family, Mike Tirico. So long from South Bend. Thanks for watching Notre Dame football on NBC.